Okay, so who wants to talk about what happened last game?
So we went to a party. Um, and we, in this case, we've had our entourage set for a while, but unfortunately, Alina had to go do some fighting in the City of the Dead and was not available to join us. Sad face, she really would have enjoyed this. Um, However, the rest of us got dressed up and we looked all fancy. And we drove up to the Kyrels and we touched the orb of cleansing. Corinne took care of presenting the customary gift. There is Amcathra wine prominently presented at the party. Pretty cool. And then we all went off to socialize. Um, Erebus made a friend, Lyra, who is going to be married to Ivran, one of the Chiral siblings. Corinne met this gal Soli, who I am not entirely sure what Soli's agenda is, and observed some of the goings on um, with the sword exhibitions with Swordmaster Micah. Um, Grim and Aliana both had encounters with Elray, who is at this party, um, including the gem that Grim believes that the ocean exists. We also met Elray's servant, Mr. Scarin, who seems to have somewhat of an odd relationship with Lord Elray that touches upon contempt and or enmity. It's fine. And Eliana and Uriel went off into the gardens to have fun with Bones, and Bosun went off on a wonderful invisible wine drinking, being an adorable holy terror of an eldritch puffin adventure. And then everybody got called together as King Kyrell summoned us to the gardens to request that we get to the bottom of the feud that is going on between the Xanathar Guild and the Jantarum, which, dun dun dun, appears to involve the name of Avali keeps coming up. What with that dramatic revelation, we decided we were going to take the job because if we didn't look into whatever is going on with the leader of Grimm's childhood crew, somebody else is going to do it, and whoever does it is not going to have the same consideration for Avali and whatever has become of her. Also, Kane is pretty pissed off because the threats against his daughters are having to do with this feud. Though more pissed off about the threats against Pyria than those against Say, whom he believes can take care of herself, as Erebus continues to be extremely pissed off on Say's behalf about what her family has done to her. Yeah, so with that in mind, we split off to question the guild representatives at the party, Matilda and Marco, and eventually learned that, yeah, they both know about Avali. She did some low-level work for each guild for about a year, and then she disappeared. So curious, and probably fine. And then everybody convened in the main hall for an announcement. Elray dramatically grabs the microphone, metaphorically speaking, and proposes to this gal, Theodosia. Cue catfight, in which Cressida really seems to have thought that Elray would have proposed to her. Gave this brief look to Scarin that none of our party members noticed. However, she launches herself at Theodosia. Two assassins strike against the guild representatives Matilda and Marco. Garen drags off Elray and yells at him about how he had one job to do and he screwed everything up, and teleports the two of them out, leaving behind Elray's emotional support fish, Fugu. Bosun does an act of kindness and brings Fugu into the pond out in the gardens, where even now he can be pictured with a little fishy smiley face because he has been saved from the brink of death. And Uriel has a panic attack upon seeing assassins striking at the party. But the assassins are now neutralized. They have been held personed. They have been grappled. Kane has commanded that we bring the assassins to him. And also, Dahlia and Lord Argent have been seen together, so there may possibly be some hope for this potential fix-up. It was quite a session.
That was so thorough and good. Thank you.
Yes. I hate to do this, but I need just a minute to go to the bathroom, and I will be right back.
Alrighty.
We can
No
get
worries.
started.
Yeah, that was an incredibly thorough yet concise summary. I am in awe of your recap skills.
Thank you. So much happened. So much.
So
It was
many
so
events.
cool.
So much happened.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sure did.
Yeah, we do have a couple of leads.
Yeah.
We have an address on Fishgut Court from the Xanathar rep, and we have an office in the dock ward for the Zent rep,
For an
who
investor.
also for our investor. Yeah.
An honest small businessman.
Yeah, he's willing to do research if we bring him a cask of Mcathra wine.
Fine.
It's definitely not a bribe. It's just a favor.
Definitely
One
not.
favor for another.
Definitely not.
Good news, everybody. My die has not rolled above a 10 for... Oh, there's a nat 20.
Good.
Oh yay! I was about to say, is it time to fire the dice?
I mean, there were a lot of 2s
Oh no.
for a while. That was upsetting.
Oh no.
I rolled a my first test roll was a 19, and I was just like, I'm just gonna stop there.
That was the smart thing to
We're just gonna
do,
pause.
because I'm still
All
testing
right.
it. It's getting better. That was a 13. Nope, that's a 4.
Oh good.
Okay, there's another nat 20, and we're gonna stop there.
Oh, excellent.
Everybody
Yes.
reset your monologue
Leave
tokens.
off on a good one.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yes.
We had such great monologue content last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good work, everyone.
Oh,
In deployment.
so I'm back. Thanks for patience. And yeah, everyone reset your monologue tokens.
Heck yeah.
The only other note that I have is that Scaverin will be played by a slightly different token because I'm pretty sure Mish deleted the token off the map.
Oh.
Oh no!
On and damned if
Oh,
I
that's
can damned if I can find it again. So if you this might not be relevant at all. You guys might not go chase down Scarin, but if you do,
I was gonna say.
Be
if we-
aware
if
that
we
it-
ever see him again.
be aware it might be a slightly different token because I don't know where it went.
Scarin's a changeling. Got it.
We're just gonna go with my old body Vecna. So
Oh no!
That's not at all.
Everybody is Vecna.
when in doubt, it's Vecna. Mostly because I just like that token.
It's a good token.
The token just looks like such a jerk. I love it.
Yeah.
If I need a middle-aged human male jerk, he just works so well. Okay, so what are you guys doing? Everyone's starting to.
Are we out of initiative?
I can say yeah. Are you guys chasing down Scarin, or are you guys gonna go back to the ballroom?
Do we even know Scarin is gone?
Bosun would have seen it, but also would have, obviously, as we know, was otherwise occupied
Had
and has not
priorities.
communicated anything along these lines.
I found him.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. He's not really a priority for Eliana because right now she's focused on keeping the assassins held and also on making sure Uriel's okay.
Okay.
Can I just? Oh, sorry, I was gonna say, can we get a quick current status of everyone, just to remember where everybody
Yeah.
is and what each other are doing
Sure.
as we.
Eliana, what are you doing?
Yeah. So she's maintaining focus on hold person to keep the two assassins neutralized. And she's also in front of Uriel as he's starting to come down from his panic attack. And the specific gesture is she's taken his hand and brought it to the pulse point at her neck. And so he feels her pulse under his fingers and says, "I'm here."
Yeah, it takes him a couple moments, but he starts to, he blinks a couple times at you and registers that you are in fact there. He's not talking quite yet, but he gives you
Yeah.
one firm nod.
Yeah. Yeah, I will, yielding the floor.
Corinne, what are you up to?
I have taken a tablecloth and draped it over this held assassin. And I'm doing my best to keep her from going anywhere. Getting her good and tangled.
You notice that Rotha Kyrell will approach you, give you a nod.
This one, I would expect she has something very sharp on her person, but is not able to use it currently for a variety of reasons.
She gives you a nod. Noted. And we'll begin searching the woman and just pulling weapons off and putting them on the table next to you all.
How many does she pull out?
2 daggers and a rapier.
Is that normal for
Oh man.
a party here, or is that excessive?
The amount of the assassinations.
Well, I meant the amount, but I suppose also the assassinations.
The amount is normal.
All right. The assassinations less normal, I would expect.
No. They we do not allow such behavior at our parties.
It does seem... Rumor would spread throughout the city very quickly if that were the case. No one would have the patience for such a thing.
She just nods.
Do you know this person also? Kind of pulls the tablecloth back just to reveal a face.
She shakes her head. No, but the whole thing with an open house is that it's pretty open for invitations.
Ah. So it might be an and friends situation, perhaps.
She just nods.
Well, anything else I can assist with here?
Help push these people into the garden. That would be appreciated.
Excellent. These people, I'm assuming, means the rest of the guests.
Oh yeah. You see
Okay.
that Ilrine and Hastos are moving and kind of pushing people, oh, this way, to the gardens. Cressida and Theodosia are pulled to one side. Let's see, Evron is going to be here. Sorry, I'm just moving everybody around that I didn't bother with. And Say is watching these two.
So I think at that, Corinne will kind of start circulating around the crowd, just ooh, have you seen the rose gardens? The black roses are spectacular this evening, and just starts shooing people towards the doors.
Yeah.
Grim is so sort of at the end of last session had sort of backed off, backed away, apologized to Ariel, sort of backed away with their hands up to clear the way to the wine room if he wanted to go there. I think sees people start to move, will step to the wine room door and peek in. Just to get a beat on how Dahlia and Lord Argent are doing.
Mm-hmm. Lord Argent looks frazzled. Dahlia looks smug.
Grim will drop into Awakened Mind to Dahlia. Do you need me for anything, or it looks like you have it well in hand?
She waves you off.
Very good. Quietly pulls back around the corner. I think we'll glance at Eliana, but it sounds like she's pretty much focused on her 2 tasks.
Pretty focused, but she does return the glance.
Sort of questioning eyebrow, also by Awakened Mind. Do you need anything here?
Not right now. She answers aloud because she has to respond aloud if she wants to respond at all. Thank you.
They nod. Sees Corinne. She's clearly got a task at hand. That's good, so she'll be happy. Erevis, what are you doing in the corner?
Erevis is still standing between Matilda Sharp and the other assassin with her swords drawn. Just in case anything happens with Hold Person, which she doesn't think it's going to, but who knows? There's already been 2 assassination attempts going on today.
Okay. Grim's gonna stroll out to the garden.
Okay.
Excellent.
Just taking their time. Sort of looking and listening on their way. If they just sort of trying to get a sense of whether anyone is talking about anything that seems sus.
Sure, roll me a perception check.
Ooh, that's gonna be a 5. Everything seems fine here.
I mean, everyone's gossiping about what just happened, but that's to be expected. So.
So Grim will make their way out to the gardens. Steps through the door. I need to check if Bosun was. Bosun would have been visible. I'm sorry. Bosun would be visible paddling around in the pool. Because the last thing he did was
I feel like he's got quite an audience happening.
Yeah, he made a scare attack and then was very busy, so would not have had time to become invisible again. So they step out the door, sort of just do a quick sort of scan of the space, see Bosun paddling around in the pool. I'm gonna roll them a performance check. 18 performance. Nope, you know what? They're going all the way to deception for this. It feels high stakes. So that's a 22 deception check. To not react, not double take, not show any recognition whatsoever. We'll just sort of, I think, stand here against the wall. So we'll sort of post up here in the way that they do, just sort of casually watching this interesting creature that they know nothing about while keeping an eye on the group gathering in the garden and keeping an ear out. That's what Grim's up to now.
Okay.
And Bosun does have a shiny bracelet around his neck. and a necklace of gilded seashells dangling from his beak as he swims. He would have hung on to that while holding Fugu. As well as a bow tie and cape, obviously.
He's getting decked out. He's the only person that goes to the party and gains more clothing. All right. So,
Corinne does stop at the buffet table and make herself a plate before proceeding to the gardens.
I love to see it. Let's say this group. Probably. Slowly but surely, everyone empties out into the gardens.
I think once Corinne has her plate, I think she backtracks to Say to check and see what's going on with these two ladies.
Say just kind of is crossing her arms and watching them. Right, so you don't get to just attack people because you're unhappy with some failure of a gentleman's. Alright, he's not worth fighting over something. Just get the fuck out of our party, please. She just like, just go. Just go. You are no longer welcome here. We appreciate you coming. However, it is time for you to leave. Please and thank you.
I'm happy to welcome to the door, Say.
Wonderful, I appreciate it. Theodosia is sniffling softly. Her flower crown's must.
It is a very, very sad thing.
Cressida is like tucking hairs back in. Her chin is held high. She did nothing wrong.
Of course not. Of course not. So Corinne will kind of just like, ladies, if you would follow me. I will start walking towards the door.
Wait.
What?
We're going to let one leave, and then we're going to give it 2 minutes, and then we're going to let the other leave.
Oh, that's a good idea, actually. Corinne says, sounding just a tiny bit disappointed. Nope, that makes a great deal of sense.
Cressida, you're out first.
Right. Cressida, if you wouldn't mind following me, please. Heading towards the door.
Yeah, she's quiet.
And
but she follows.
Yeah, as they get to, like, the hallway, and outside a little bit, Corinne will kind of, like, hiss to her, like, what on earth was that?
A lot of plans just got ruined.
What sort of plans? I mean, obviously there's wedding planning, but...
Well, business plans.
You were in business with Lord Elray?
I was going to be. Marriage is a contract.
What on earth sort of business does he do? Other than exotic fish acquisition, apparently.
He comes from a very powerful family. Very well placed.
Well, and Corinne kind of like links her arm through Cressida's and kind of like puts a hand on Cressida's arm. She's like, perhaps may be true, but when powerful limp noodle men spontaneously propose to other women, it's best if we don't attack them in a crowded ballroom. We can wait until out in the gardens and then attack them.
She grins a little bit at that.
And did did you know that there was an assassination attempt as well?
2, from what the looks of it.
Indeed. Your fight was rather convenient cover, I suppose. You didn't know. Surely you knew nothing of that
Of the assassination.
coincidence, I'm sure.
Of the assassination attempt for those 2? No.
Can I insight that to see if she's lying?
Sure.
It's an 18.
She did not know anything about the assassination attempt that took place at the same time as her fight.
Yep, that checks out. All right. And like as Corinne kind of like escorts her to the door, I thank you ever so much for the invite. I am so sorry to be the one to turn you out, but I do hope that we can see each other again at one of these events. 'Cause this has been quite enjoyable.
I doubt this will be my last party, given that, I mean, Say is here, and she did a lot worse than I did.
Well, you rest up. Make sure you get some good. I'm sure you know someone who's good with like bruising and things like that.
She didn't fight back. Kind of disappointed.
Well, you know, I suppose certain types draw each other to some extent.
She just kind of sighs and looks up at the sky, and the carriage pulls forward. She gives you a little nod. Next time,
Don't-
have more fun, I suppose.
Yes, don't fret. There will be others, and they won't have handshakes that are quite so damp.
He was shaking people's hands again.
I would assume so. He took my hands the last time at the last event, and they was just very clammy, like
Well,
not the sweaty kind of clammy where you're nervous, but just like
It's because he was petting his fish.
oh gods, why, sir, why?
She shrugs and hops in her carriage.
Yeah. Corinne does like the double cheek kiss, and then we'll head back into the ballroom to retrieve Theodosia.
You see, Say is like, look, just, you don't have to punch back, but just protect the face. And she's like showing like, like, just this would have helped.
Always good to know at least a few basics of self-defense.
Theodosia sniffs. I don't believe in violence. And Say's like, right, I'm not teaching you how to punch. It's a completely different lesson. I'm teaching you how to block. Alright, just... Here, my friend Konani made this healing salve. Take it. Go.
And Corinne will kind of like extend an arm. Just like, come along, dear. We've got a carriage waiting for you.
Yeah, she'll take your arm.
Yeah. And as she's walking her out, we'll start asking like, how did you meet Lord Elray? Tell me, what a fortunate happenstance for you this evening. Did you know each other before?
We met a few weeks ago at one of his open houses. He's quite pleasant.
He is certainly very personable.
And he understands that I don't eat meat. Or any vegetable that's been plucked before its time. And he's very open about such things, and it's not very common.
Uh-huh. Well, you congratulations are due, certainly. I wish you the best, and I hope to see you at another one of these open houses. Of course, with less scuffling involved.
I do hope so as well. Do you think if I apologize to Cressida, she'll forgive me? And we could be friends again?
I would perhaps give her a bit of space. I've found that when one is particularly wounded around a potential partnership, it is best to allow them to do the approaching.
I suppose if you say so. You do sound very wise. She just she puts her hands on your shoulders and goes, "You have an old soul."
Oh dear. That's very kind of you. I think. It's just something you learn after being around enough of these parties and observe enough catfights that, the same people tend to show up at the different events, and one always is best served by letting the most wounded party be the one who does the initiative of, attempting to patch things up. Or being open to patching things up, I suppose.
I think we have a monologue token out.
Well, Corinne, whenever you're ready.
Amazing.
Oh god, these two deserve each other. Oh. Oh god. I don't think she has any idea where she is right now. I mean, in a technical sense, yes, she knows where she is, but I don't think she knows where she is or who she's with in this estate. I doubt she knows that anyone was attempted to be murdered this evening. And the sweet summer child. I would very much like to get her drunk sometime. End monologue.
I'd very much like to see this sometime.
Same. Amazing.
Another carriage pulls up and she kind of gives you a big hug.
Oh,
and hops into the carriage.
Right, safe journeys home. Oh dear. Kind of like straightens herself a little bit, like brushes off her dress, and we'll head back inside. And then I think she'll head over to Bones and Reg, but will yield the floor for others who want to do things.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to see how this assassin collection goes down.
Yeah.
That is also of interest to me.
Delightful.
You see Ratha pick up the weapons, kind of just store them on herself, and move over to the second assassin, give you a nod, Erebus, and start disarming them.
Oh, thank you. Do you need anything else from me for right now?
No. Your quick action is appreciated. We will be escorting them to the family dungeons until the guard can come get them.
Okay. Erebus would like to insight check this because the Kyrels are sus as hell.
Sure.
Just to see what is gonna happen and if the guard is actually gonna be able to come and get them.
Insight check away.
Dang it, that was almost a base 13 and it rolled over to an 11. Okay. But that's still a 15.
There's some truth in it and some falsity in it. She's definitely going to take them to the family dungeons.
Okay.
And at some point, the guard will be summoned.
Okay, but that the state of the prisoners is not determined.
Yeah, she did not. She's
Okay.
not. She does not appear to be in any rush. No one has left to go get the guard. You might have noticed.
Okay.
No one has run out and gone, please,
Right, of course.
please. No, not that sort of party.
Okay. All right. So then, Erebus is going to nod because confronting a Kyrell seems like ill-advised plan, and instead will turn to Matilda and say, "Can I see your wound? I was able to patch it up to keep you stable, but I just want to make sure that it's actually stable."
She nods a little bit and she'll move aside. She's wearing like a very nice silk shirt, and she moves it aside to reveal a pretty deep puncture wound. In game terms, you're probably
Okay.
looking at about 10 to 15 damage.
Oof.
Okay. I can absolutely do cure wounds again so that she can get to a professional healer and generally be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do that. And let's do the D8 for that. That's not a D8. Okay. Today on should have looked up the spell before casting it. Okay. Spellcasting ability modifier. Fantastic. So that's going to be a total of 10 damage healed.
Nice.
Sounds good. She looks at it and nods. I've had worse, thanks.
Yeah, of course. I'm so sorry. Can I be of any further service to you?
No, I should probably get back home, to be honest. As fun of a party as it is, I have things to do now.
I can imagine that being stabbed out of nowhere is probably cause for needing to do things.
And she gives you a nod, and she is actually going to skedaddle. She's gonna scoot right the fuck out.
Fair enough. So Erebus will then go over to Say and to be present in case she's needed, but also to not interfere with the Kyrells, because, again, seems very ill-advised. And also to kind of keep an eye on what's going on with Eliana and Uriel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just moving her off of the token layer. As
Bye,
people
Matilda,
leave,
get home safe.
as people leave, I'm trying to like Sims, like they do the thing where they just spin and they disappear off the map.
Yeah, going off the lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Elian.
Yeah. So with Uriel starting to look better, she's going to say to him, I would like to do some more investigation here. I can meet you in the gardens if you would prefer, or you can stay. What would you like?
I'll be all right. I'm just going to check on the gentleman over there. And he kind of motions to Marco Fox, who is still bleeding.
Yeah, I have some I have a question for him as well. So yes, we may both be going in the same direction.
Fantastic. Yeah, he's gonna head right over.
Yeah. So Eliana approaches Marco. I am sorry that happened to you.
He kind of shrugs it off and takes a nice swig of wine. Uriel's like, you should not be drinking while I am trying to heal you. And he's like, well, some came out, so I have to put it back in.
Did you know that person who attacked you?
Marco shakes his head. Not the foggiest. Little bit of that going around, though.
Yes, I was there for the aftermath of trying to heal certain of your associates who were poisoned en masse.
Terrible nonsense. I would have blamed Matilda for it, but she was clearly not involved. I mean, unless it's a cover-up, in which case it's a very clumsy cover-up.
No, I don't believe this is business as usual.
He kind of shrugs his shoulders as Uriel mutters a soft prayer and heals him completely. He's like, alright, you might be a little bit woozy. Please eat food, drink water. Water. Okay? Marco waves him off and pours himself a nice big glass of wine. Uriel just shakes his head. He's going to move over here. He is not doing it.
Most people who don't listen to him regret it. She will advise Marco.
Marco shrugs his shoulders. Life's short. I drink wine.
Well, it may be shorter, but nonetheless, enjoy your wine.
Gives you a nod.
Yeah. Eliana will take a step away. Looks as though these assassins have been bundled off to the Chiral dungeons.
Yep. They're gone.
Yeah. So everybody here is everybody who's here. Lenya will say to Uriel, had I known what this party would turn into, I'm sorry.
He takes a moment and kind of takes a deep breath. It's fine. You had no way of knowing, and I'm glad I'm here with you at least.
I'm glad you're here too. I think she'll glance over to Aravis and say, and seeing how the things have pretty much cleared out, I do want to take a look and see if there's anything more to be done before going out to the gardens.
He nods. I will follow behind you like a faithful puppy.
Very well. She smiles at him and brushes his shoulder with her hand. And then we'll move over to Aravis and say. She'll ask, it looks as though things are in hand for now. Would your family take any issue with us asking questions of the assassins? Ideally, I would try to get a bit of information out of them.
Yes, I also would like to, but I felt that it was probably not wise to ask your sister.
I honestly think that my grandfather is down there now, and we might not want to interrupt that, but I can try and get a full report from him.
That sounds good. I don't think he is a person who it would be wise to interrupt either.
Aravis has a look of the briefest look of just disdain cross her face, and then it vanishes. So I suppose there's nothing more for us to do here for now. Matilda's stable, walked out of here on her own 2 feet. I see Marco's doing okay. And she looks at Uriel. Are you all right?
I'll survive. More embarrassed than anything.
There's no need to be embarrassed. It's okay.
Truly, there isn't.
Say holds up a glass of wine. Cheers to that. We've all been there. Well, at least I've been there.
Cheers. Erebus also lifts her glass.
Well, that's the most depressing
Or
round
a
of
glass. She found a glass and lifted it, but might not be hers.
That's the most depressing round of Never Have I Ever.
Pollyanna realizes her glass is somewhere over here, and so she mage hands it over to herself to take a drink.
Right.
Right. So then what do we do now?
Enjoy the party?
Sure.
Right.
Or cut out fashionably early and have an after party at the last call.
There might be something to that.
You see Pyria skip right over and pull Say into a hug. Pyria is several inches taller than Say, despite being much, probably significantly younger by the looks of her. And Say just goes, "Oh, right. So you've heard too. Great. That's excellent."
Oh, who's this?
Hi, Pyria. Oh, this is Pyria Kyrell.
My baby
Oh,
sister.
Hi.
Yeah, Pyria, this is Erebus. She's a friend of mine.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, Erebus. It's so nice to meet you. And you see her very almost. Say it definitely isn't fighting back as Pyria kind of puts her into a headlock. Say you could keep growing. You just have to choose, to not be mean. Say just kind of shrugs her off. I don't need to be told to be. It's terrifying. Right.
It's true. I've seen it.
Pyria just kind of leans her, like she does that thing like that tall people do to short people. She like puts her elbow on Say's head
Yeah.
and just leans on her. So when am I going to meet my niece? Say just kind of rubs the bridge of her nose. Anytime you would like, Pyria, except for tonight because she is asleep. Because she needs sleep. 8 hours a night. Pyria pouts at that.
She's not going anywhere.
Yeah, Pyria grins at that. I heard that too. Anyway, then I will probably see you tomorrow. Bye! And she goes and skips off.
Bye.
She just shakes her head.
All right then. Let's go catch up with Grim and Corinne then.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Corinne wanted to talk to Reg and Bones.
Yes, but I want to check in with Hannah to see if there's anything Grim specifically is up to right now.
Thank you for checking. Grim is unless Grim would have heard or seen anything of particular interest in the garden, Grim is content to chill and watch this fascinating creature that they've never seen before. So, not unless something has happened in the garden, Grim is all set for the time being. But thank you.
Excellent. So Corinne will go to Reg and Bones after escorting our two combatants out. And just kind of look at the two and like, what the fuck was that?
Reg looks flustered and holds up his hands like, I don't know. Bones kind of shrugs. I genuinely have no clue, but this is not the society that I'm kind of embedded in, so your guess is as good as mine. I just know that I'm too drunk to defend everyone or jump into a fray, so just figured I'd focus on him. And she motions to Reg, who is gamefully kind of tucked behind Bones. Like, Bones definitely put herself in between, and Reg did not fight it.
Interesting. When you say drunk, do you what? 'Cause isn't you're allergic to
Wine.
wine? Correct.
Wine, yeah. But
Wine,
I'm a bit of
alright.
a lightweight for anything that's not wine.
Ah, got it. Well, I hope you've been avoiding the wine. Under most circumstances, I would be very offended if you were.
I bring my own booze just in case, but it wasn't required here.
Oh, look at you planning ahead.
Well, street urchin's got a street urchin.
Oh, that's fair, I suppose. I don't. Have you seen Elray and whatever his manservant's name? He looked very perturbed. I deliberately avoided them for most of the evening, so I don't actually know who that was.
Reg will speak up. Yeah, they gave us a cloak of the manta ray. Something like that. Smelled like brimstone, and they both did some sort of short-range teleportation out of here.
The door's right there.
He shrugs. The door's right there.
I love her.
That's so true.
The non-caster of the group is just like, the mundane solution is right before you. And yet... and she kind of looks at Reg and is like, you're a wizard. Would you use a door or a dramatic brimstone scent that might cling to you for the next several hours?
I make it a habit not to kidnap people, so
Oh, is that...
I don't know.
Is that what happens?
I have no opinions on what happened other than they seem to
No,
be-
you clearly have an opinion on what happened since you said the word kidnapping.
I'm just
Most people would not say the word kidnapping unless they had an opinion about a kidnapping occurring.
I'm just Scarin seemed to be getting him out of here pretty fast, so
Well, I guess I'll have to ask around to see who the fuck knows anything about Scarin. Who names that? Oh, God. I suppose it was fate in a way. Takes makes a little, like, cheese and grape sandwich with a cracker on her plate, pops it in her mouth, and then heads into the main ballroom.
What's your passive perception?
20.
Let me roll a sleight of hand check with disadvantage. Give me a moment. You see Bones just grab a slice of cheese off your plate and eat it.
You're not allergic, are you?
Not to cheese. Grapes, though, those are the worst.
Very good. There's a remarkable spread that hasn't been touched just north of the ballroom. This is mine, go get your own.
You see her head off to do that.
Corinne returns to the ballroom.
Right.
Runs into this collective here. Did you know that Scarin made the I don't know who that is. But 2, instead of using the literal front door that was in the same room as him, decided to dramatically teleport away in a cloud of smoke and brimstone, probably.
That's very strange. I knew that I was getting a very weird sense from Scarin when I met him and Elray before.
That does seem very dramatic.
Reg claims to have no opinion on the matter, and then also used the word kidnapping in the same sentence.
Wait,
That
who's
sounds like
this
an
man?
opinion.
Oh, it's Bones' partner. He's a wizard or something.
No, I mean, I know, I've met Professor Cross. I meant Scarin.
Not Professor Cross.
My sibling lives in his tower. I've heard the name a time or two. Amazing.
Yes.
Oh,
I love all these characters so much.
amazing.
Right.
Corinne's like, oh, you're right. That is where we met you, isn't it? Another bite of cheesy cracker.
I mean, I don't blame you for essentially erasing it from your memory, given how horrified you were at the snake juice.
Can this be
Ugh.
about when Grim walks in? Comes back to find the rest of the
Yes,
group.
100%.
Yeah.
We'll enter from the buffet room with a plate with another slice of cake on it in their hands. Are we picking on the snake juice again?
Yes.
It's terrible. Why does it exist? Don't answer that. You've already answered it. I know what you will say.
They had opened their mouth and very slowly pop a bite of cake into it and chew.
I haven't
Erebus
eaten
just grins.
anything.
And but yes, who is this Scarin person?
Did you? You. In points to Eliana. You met. Did you meet? You were talking about him. Yes. Who is he?
Yeah. I met him. He seemed to be a servant to Elray, and
Are we talking about the fish?
oh
I'm sorry,
no.
There was a fish.
There was a fish. But Corinne's asking about the person.
There was a person.
Yeah, you know the guy who was next. You met Elray, you met the fish.
I met the
So-
fish.
Yeah. So the manservant. The
Grim
one
looks
who was
blank.
the one
but
who was
will
next
not interrupt.
to I'm sorry, I keep interrupting.
Oh no, I have bad timing. Go ahead.
Okay. The one who was next to Elray and who seemed to not like him very much.
Grim looks blank. They did not notice another human being. They were just paying attention to the fish, and occasionally heard Elray directly address them. So they look blank, but will sort of make a keep going gesture with their cake and keep eating.
Right. Well, he was there with the servant, and it's funny. I would have I wasn't completely surprised that he was unable to keep his contempt for Lord Alray out of his face. Now that I've met Alray, I feel as though it would be difficult to be a servant to him without having some level of, oh gods, how is this my life, running in my head all the time. But it's funny, for just a moment it seemed like it's tipped over into hatred for Elray. Or being an enmity or something.
Here's a question I have. We had servants in our house growing up. None of them owned magical capes.
That
He
you
a
know of?
servant. What?
That you know of?
I assure you, none of them owned magical capes.
Head tilt. Another bite of cake.
So interesting. So contempt, magical cape, brimstone's never a good smell. And Reg thought it was kidnapping.
Erebus, roll me a history check with disadvantage.
Okay. Right, here we go.
I'm going to assume that someone in the background explains to Grim who Reg is.
Yep.
Oh, heck yeah. Okay. So, my lowest roll is a 14.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You remember
New
because
dice, new dice.
you so when your sibling got their internship, they were very excited because they got 2 teachers at the price of 1. They got both Bones and Reg. And you know, we're very excited about them because they were adventurers and they had met. And you remembered this specifically. They had met because Bones had rescued Reg from being kidnapped.
Oh.
So do with that
Erebus
information.
says that out loud. She's like,
Do with that information what you will. Whether you think he might be more likely to jump to the conclusion that something is a kidnapping, or less likely to use that term lightly, or interpret that how you will. But you are aware
Okay.
that actually that is a man who has been kidnapped before.
okay. How well... Guy, I'm assuming that Erebus has only met Reg a handful of times.
Yeah.
So probably doesn't know him super well.
Mhm.
But she does know that. Okay. She looks at the others. Are they still here?
Is who still here?
Reg and Bones.
Oh, yes, they were heading up to the gardens. Bones is very tipsy, and Reg is behaving a bit like a spooked puppy.
Okay. There might be a reason for that. I'll be right back. Because she doesn't want to share info that's not really hers to share, but she's like, I know a thing. I'm just going to go ask a couple of follow-up questions.
Yeah.
Grim will say to the air in general, 2 and 2, and we'll follow Erebus.
Excellent.
Corinne just kind of like tilts her head and eats another cheese and grape and cracker trio.
Corinne, you said your passive perception was 20, right?
Correct.
You 100% clock the conversation that Hastos and Say are having close to you. There's a lot of like, we'll finish this conversation later, and you catch the tone of she just has concerns, and so do I. There seems to be that something happened while you all were doing stuff at the party. Say is just kind of like, you get the you I don't know, you've lived a life where you have been lectured at before, and you did the okay, can we just make this conversation go away now?
Yep.
That is very much the vibe as Hastos heads out.
Okay. That it is Say who has the vibe of like, yep, okay,
Yeah.
great, yep,
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And she is going to pour herself a nice big glass of wine afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Corinne looks to Eliana and she's like, are you keeping an eye on this one, or would you like to join me in poking my nose in a conversation where it probably doesn't belong?
This one being
Uriel.
Uriel?
Yep.
Yes, but I would be interested.
Excellent.
I think I can do both.
Very good. Corinne picks up a glass of wine that has been untouched from the table and kind of sidles over to Say, and she's like, oh, concerned family, right?
Very concerned.
Sort of about the whole, threats business.
Mostly about the I have a daughter now business.
Oh. Interesting. Not the direction. Anyway,
Though the threats business did make it into that lecture, yes.
Oh, well, it's good to know that they care, right? Sort of.
It is promising
makes-
that she started the sentence with "no granddaughter of mine." Yes.
Oh, well, that is promising.
So, to bright sides, and she'll hold up her glass of wine, take a nice
Yeah.
big swig from it.
Yeah, Corinne raises her glass as well. Take a sip. I may have also accidentally told someone else.
Oh, that's fine. I pulled them up. I pulled them aside fairly early in the party. I was surprised they didn't know already.
Very good. Just sort of was the first thing that came out of my mouth when someone asked me for I believe the phrase was a crazy say story.
I shot you, and that is the first story you could think of is that I have a kid now?
I had forgotten about that, actually. That did happen. I'll use that next time.
She laughs at you.
Yeah. I mean, it healed up so well afterwards, and, it was... it feels like a lifetime ago at this point. There's been so much that's happened since then.
I think the better say stories are the ones that you chose to do.
Fair enough. Oh,
Well,
family is family. And sometimes family isn't family, and sometimes family is whoever the fuck you say is family, so cheers.
cheers to family, I guess.
Family, I
Henrietta raises her
guess.
glass for this.
All right. On that note, we will cut back to the investigating crew.
Okay. Investigation crew part 2.
Yeah. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. Erebus is looking,
Heading into this, I need to know both of your passive perceptions.
not great.
Wait, no. Is it 16?
12.
Hang on. Do
12 for Grim. Let me double check.
Come on, load. Hurry up. Roll
If it's
20's like,
garden
I'm gonna go
things.
so slow.
10
So
for
slow.
Bosun.
10 for Bosun. It is not a garden thing.
18
It
for
is,
Erebus.
it is definitely a this room thing.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, good. Yeah, 18.
18. Alright.
Yeah,
Well, there sure are some Kyrels in here, aren't there?
sure are.
Are you guys
Wow,
heading
look at
into the
those
buffet?
Kyrels. Yes.
Oh,
Sure.
I didn't realize you were in there. But yes, into the buffet.
Into the buffet.
Yeah, because it looks like that's where they are.
If Erebus wants to talk to Reg, correct?
Yes.
Delightful. Grim's goal is to cut Bones out so they can talk to
Off.
her.
Sure.
Okay. Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, buffet time. Erebus will walk up to the two of them and wave and say, hello, do you remember me? I'm Orin's sister.
Yes, I do. And he gives you a nod. Seems to be eating a couple
Nice
of
to see you
peach
again.
slices on toothpicks.
Refreshing. Can I ask you a question on a potentially sensitive matter? It won't take long. I just wanted to clarify a couple of things.
Grim would like to catch Bones' eye. Likewise, different question though.
She gives you an arched eyebrow, and nods, and she will move over here.
Delightful.
Passive perception 12. Yeah, nope. Don't see anything.
I will say that I don't know what I'm not seeing, but having been warned that she is tipsy,
Mhm.
Grim would will swing around to the buffet and is casually pouring a glass of water.
Sure.
We'll defer to Erebus's thing first. Unless Erebus would prefer to not go first, in which case that's fine too.
I am delighted for Grim to go first.
So they will casually pour a glass of water. Sort of as they're doing so, we'll drop into Awakened Mind to Bones.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't heard anything of Avalie lately, have you? In the last few years?
She blinks for a moment. Double dealing on both sides of the Thieves Guilds, but that's pretty normal for low-ranking members. At least until they...
Oh, you knew that.
Yeah, that happens.
Did everyone know that?
No, I don't think everyone knew it, but I'm theoretically an investigator.
We'll raise an eyebrow. Only theoretically. Sort of visibly tease her a little bit. Just a little bit.
She gives you a bit of a grin. Comes and goes. Depends on whatever spikes my interest.
Grim nods, sort of lifts the glass, sort of admire the water, like there's a light over to their left. It looks like
Erebus,
over here.
while this conversation is happening, you notice that at least an entire glass has made its way into Bones' incredibly small purse. Like this glass is too big to have reasonably been put into this purse. But Bones seems to almost
of alcohol?
No, it's an empty glass. She's just taking it.
Oh. It's
Sort of like a fancy etched
okay.
crystal glass. Or
Yeah,
something.
fancy etched crystal glass. She's just taking it.
Erebus kind of looks at the glass, and then looks at Grim, and tries to catch their eye, and then just kind of dart her gaze between the purse and Grim, and back to the purse, and then back to her conversation.
What do I have to roll to,
And-
or do I just not notice that at all because my past perception is 12?
If you get clued in on it, I'll let you roll a perception check.
I feel like I'm not looking at Erebus at all, so unless she does
Oh,
something
okay.
more than
More than just, hey,
look,
what's going on?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, so then what I'm gonna... So seeing that Grim has not caught her eye, she is going to whisper to Bianca to go, like, perch on Bones' arm near the purse. Because, like, it's whatever. Bones can do whatever. But just in case there's something that Grim knows that she doesn't, she wanted Grim to have the opportunity to clue in Bones to, like, hey, maybe not with the stealing fancy goblets at a criminal party.
So Bianca has flown over
Yeah.
to okay, and perched on Bones' arm. Okay, Grim would notice that. Like looks at Bianca. Like
Bianca kind of
like,
taps the glass with her tail.
like the glass that's in Grim's hand currently.
No, the one in Bones' purse.
She can't. The bag
It's
seems
gone.
empty.
She
Oh,
can
the
tap-
bag seems empty. Oh, interesting. Fascinating. So there's a illusion. Oh, because Bones knows illusion magic. Okay. Interesting. Well, Erebus can see it. Doesn't realize that Grim maybe can't.
So Bianca has tapped the purse.
Yeah.
Grim just sort of stares at her for a moment, Can I roll animal handling to try to figure out like is what is going like or something
No,
to like?
Bones is gonna notice. She's gonna be like, "Shh! Don't give away the game, Bianca." Anyway, so you were asking me a very important question.
Oh, the sensitive part was over.
Oh, okay.
So it's alright if she stays, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, great. Bianca, you can stay. Best behavior. Don't give away the game.
2 minutes earlier,
Bianca
Grim
beams
definitely
and,
would
like,
have tried to
takes
shoo
plate
her
of-
away.
Bianca beams and like takes a piece of cheese off Bones' plate because she's a pseudo dragon and she can.
What do you know about pufferfish?
They live in the ocean, and Elray's ugly fish tank. I tend to avoid the ocean. It may sound a bit stereotypical, but, you know, the whole cats and water don't mix. And also I've been in, like, I've been in a shipwreck, and, you know, my father went missing in a shipwreck, so I tend to avoid the water in general.
So there was a slow blink when she said, I tend to avoid the ocean. Like, Grim just can't process that information. And then she continues to talk about the horrors of shipwrecks to Grim,
She doesn't know.
whose recent history they have not discussed. And there is another even slower blink. I am going to leave now.
Oh, well, come
It's
on.
not
Let's go do a
personal.
thing. Let's go do a thing. Come on.
Here you go.
No, let's go do the thing.
They will
Come
hold
on.
out the glass of water.
She'll take the glass of water and take your hand.
They stare at her hand.
Come on, we're gonna go do the thing.
I was going to leave without you. So you could stay here and I could go be somewhere else.
Or you could come do the thing.
What thing? Still staring at the hand.
She just grins at you. She's got that wild look in her eyes, that like cat who has spotted the red dot eyes.
Oh, there is a prolonged pause. And then a decisive nod. All right, show me.
She walks over to this window and hops right the fuck out.
We're on the first floor, right?
Yeah, we are on the first floor.
Okay, cool. Grim follows. Is she still holding my hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bianca's also still there riding the purse.
Alright.
I'm
I think we
just
should cut
following.
to Aravis and Reg at this
Oh
point.
Grim
Okay,
definitely
so-
has is still deeply confused and a little blank, but like is starting to get I don't know if Erebus knows them well enough to recognize it, but they definitely are starting like there's a bit like 25 to 30% like Grim bad idea expression. Like they don't have an idea, but they can tell that she has a bad idea, and they are like increasingly
Yeah.
there for it.
Yeah. I think maybe Erebus has noticed them leaving the room, but figured it was part of the sensitive conversation and was just like, yeah, that's fine. Bianca's with him, whatever.
I feel like Cross looked and noticed that they were leaving the room via window and seemed not at all surprised or perplexed by this.
Yeah, so like this is normal.
I think Grim would try to shoo Bianca off if we're going to do a thing. Like, I don't know Grim doesn't know what that is, but is pretty sure that like this is not their familiar and it's not Bones' familiar. So they are pretty sure there should not be a witness.
Bianca kind of pouts at them and is like, okay, bye then. And heads back through the window.
Delightful.
Okay, so while this is happening, Erebus is kind of trying to think how to open this conversation. And finally just says, I'm not asking for like details or anything that you don't necessarily want to share. But Corinne happened to mention that you mentioned the word kidnapping about the random disappearance in the hall earlier, and Oren mentioned that you might have some familiarity with that having happened in your past, so I was just wondering if there were any clues in like what you saw that might be useful, because if Lord Elray is in trouble, we would maybe want to follow up on that. But nothing you don't want to share. Just wanted to see if there was anything in particular that made you think that it might be.
He kind of nods. Oh, right. Just the speed in which they left seemed suspicious, but I mean, of course, if there were assassinations happening, that also makes sense. Kind of shrugs his shoulders.
Sure, but
I
mean, the door was right there.
Yeah. Door was right there. And they were kind of, dragging on him a little. He was just the older one who was dragging on the blue one.
Okay.
And I don't know.
Okay.
He kind of shrugs his shoulders.
Did they say anything that jumped out at you?
No, just Scarron was lecturing that Elray had fucked it up, whatever it is.
Okay. Well, that certainly was a spectacle, but I have no idea what that means. Okay. So, rushed out, seemed like he was hustling Elray out, had mentioned that Elray fucked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But
Okay,
Elray
thank you.
doesn't seem like a
That's
very
helpful.
good judge of character either, so it's entirely possible he was trying to handshake with the assassins or something. I don't know. I wasn't there.
I've never met him, but based on the brief mentions of people who have in the last 5 minutes, that doesn't surprise me somehow.
He nods. You both didn't miss anything and then missed a great deal because he's, interesting.
I did see the fish. Who brings a fish to a party?
I believe he said it was an emotional support fish.
She makes a face, but nods and shrugs. She's like, I've seen weirder. Okay. Yeah, that's all I wanted to know. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I'll look into it.
Okay, nuts.
Okay, great. I'm gonna go find my dragon, and then that's when Bianca comes back. I'll put out because she's been not included in the fun. Should we be worried that the two of them just went out the window?
Reg looks at the window, thinks for a moment, shakes his head, and then nods his head, and then shrugs. I generally just wait somewhere I can have an alibi.
That that doesn't sound very convincing. Okay. I'm going to catch up with my party then, unless there's anything I can do for you.
No, I think I might just get a carriage. It looks like she may have. We might just need to get our carriage.
Okay.
He is going to walk into this very busy...
Let me know if you need anything. I'm at the last call.
I will. I'll reach out. And at that, he's going to walk into this very busy room. Where there are a lot of people.
Erebus is gonna kind of poke her head into the room to see if there's anything happening in there that she should pay attention to.
Sure. Lyra gives you kind of a frazzled wave.
Hey, are you alright?
I'm fine. It's just been a lot tonight, honestly. But there's a lot going on, and that's quite unusual. It doesn't happen at these parties. I know that the Kyrells do have a certain reputation, but generally these parties are quite safe, and this sort of thing doesn't happen.
Sure, assassin parties aren't normal.
No, really not. Just trying to get everyone calmed down and maybe relaxed a little bit more so we don't have that happening again.
Sure. Well, I'm glad you're okay. Bianca goes and perches on Lyra's head for a minute, who she recognizes a friend.
Oh, hello, cutie pie, and she kind of gives her scritches.
Yay. Bianca is pleased and pacified. I'm gonna go find my friends. Is there anything I can do for you before I go, though?
No, I'm all set. I'm just mostly making the rounds and getting everyone to not have their hands on the daggers.
Yeah, that is definitely an understandable urge considering everything, but it seems like everything's well under control. The Chiral certainly cleaned that one up very quickly.
They're a very efficient group. I think there's going to be fireworks in a few minutes, though. If you would like to, they'll be outside in the garden.
Oh, wonderful! Yes, I will. I'll definitely mention it to my friends. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for your hospitality and introducing me to Ivron. It was so lovely to meet you both, and I would love to.
I'd like to have lunch
actually
sometime.
take him up on that offer of dragon chess.
And I'd like to have lunch sometime with you. You seem so very interesting.
Yeah, of course. I am staying at the last call for now, so feel free to send me a message there.
I will.
All right. Wonderful. And Erebus gives her a friendly hand press and then collects her companion and heads back to the group in the ballroom.
All right. The party sans grim. What are you up to?
I feel like the last thing that we discussed was possibly bouncing, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Erebus has come back with updated information if y'all would like that.
Good. So we think he was kidnapped. That's good.
Yes, that's.
great.
I think it's a distinct possibility, and also Grim and Bones exited the party via a window, and apparently there are going to be fireworks, and that's my update.
Do we have to go rescue Elray? Do we have to rescue... No, I don't think we have to rescue Grim and Bones. They're probably fine. They're probably just having a really good time by themselves. And
when you say fireworks, do you mean literal fireworks, or are you talking the more metaphorical fireworks?
Literal, I assumed. Lyra said they would be in the garden in a minute.
Literal, yes.
Oh, okay. I was afraid that Bones and Grim were perhaps going to set off homemade fireworks, and I had some concerns. All right, that's...
No, I'm sorry. Those are two separate things. Grim and Bones went out the window, and then a few minutes later I went and talked to Lyra, and she said that there are family-sanctioned fireworks. Having said that, I have no idea what they're up to, except that they jumped out a window. But
Corinne still looks visibly relieved.
That's all I know.
maybe they're going to mess with the fireworks.
Corinne looks panicked again.
I don't think that's a good idea.
No.
Speaking as someone who works regularly with black powder.
Correct. Which window did they go out of?
The one in the buffet room leading outside the house, not to the garden.
Great.
To
Corinne
the
starts
garden,
heading for the window.
Okay. That's right, they did go into the garden where the fireworks are going to be. Alright, Erebus will follow.
Eliana squeezes Uriel's hand, follows.
Yeah, Uriel's like, why are we... and he's just gonna follow. I feel like
she says to him on the way, I'm probably wrong. I think I'm wrong. I'm wrong, right?
Incredible.
So
Corinne will look out the window first
Mhm.
before attempting to depart or defenestrate from it.
Self defenestrate.
Yes.
so I think we
I
should back up to where Grim and Grim
yeah,
and Bones
'cause
are up to.
there are things on the differential depending on what Bones exactly is leading.
Mm-hmm. So Bones. Oh man, hold on. Let me pull up her spell list.
Oh, is she gonna beat me to the thing that Grim might do depending on how it's going? That's
Probably
fun.
not. She might approach it from a different angle though. Bones is going to.
Grim is not asking any questions, by the way. They're just following.
Bones seems to be like completely like that is a normal thing.
Yep.
Let's see. So
They will. They are like still like if she tries to let go of their hand, they will try to retain hers.
she doesn't until they get to the statue. A large lion proudly looking over the garden, and she just grins at it.
Friend of yours?
Not yet, but
Cousin. I see the resemblance.
I think we can definitely make him more friendly. Actually, there is a group in Tikal, Leonids, that look kind of like this, but they are much, much too haughty for us normal tabaxi. So,
If they're not fish, I don't want to know about them.
we have small fish that eat flesh, and then there was the one catfish.
You do not?
We do too in Tikal.
That's the delighted, like you do not, but like expression of pure tell me more.
They're tiny, they're like this big, and they will just, I have seen them strip an entire small dragon-like creatures, not dragons, dinosaur-like creatures.
I'm
Jaggies!
going to need to know more about this when we inevitably
Anyway.
go to Tikal.
Yeah, it's a whole thing with Tikal. Anyway, we are going to make this statue look 100% more interesting. I'm going to even go scientifically say 150% more interesting. And she starts pulling shit out of her purse that conceivably would not fit into her purse.
I'm gonna lean against the hedge and watch. Wait, these are relatively
These are
low
like
hedges,
yeah,
right?
they're like I'd say chest high. Like if you were a halfling,
Okay.
you'd be hidden, but.
So Grim is sort of will sort of step into this corner, and sort of like on their own 2 feet because you can't lean against, so they don't fall through the hedge. But like the posture is lounging. Will glance around. They already have her hand. Is just going to cast invisibility on them both.
Nice. All right.
So when Corinne looks out the window, she sees nothing. I mean, she sees many things, but not us.
Yeah, Bones is going to start pulling just random, like she's got a large gem that she's found, stolen, and or somehow ended up with, and she is going to drape it around the lion's neck. Hard to tell if it's a real gem without any sort of tools. And then she's just going to start and just random shit, like she's got a flower crown that she has somehow acquired. She's got
Did you steal that from Bosun?
No. Does he have a crown?
He does. He got it from the Feywild, I believe.
Oh, well, it's a good place for it. But no, I didn't steal this one from Bosun. I made it. Fast times. And she puts that on top of the lion's mane. Let's see. She takes a set of reading glasses and props them onto the lion's face. And it looks like this is just random shit she has picked up through the night since she has gotten intoxicated. She might...
Sure. Grim is definitely watching for her to try to steal their eye patch.
She does not seem interested in your eye patch, for what it's worth.
so far.
So far.
I'm
Or
Grim.
she
I
has-
am on guard.
Or she has already done the math and decided it's not worth the risk.
Respect. Still on guard.
Alright, let me just look at the... Minor illusion lasts 1 minute. That's a pain. Anyway, so yeah, she's just pulling out random shit and like just draping it elegantly over this lion statue.
Delightful.
Just general mayhem, nothing that can't be undone. But just general, like, you know.
Delightful. I can retain hold of her hand, remind her to drink water at intervals, otherwise just hang out.
Yeah. And she will, it looks like she has forgotten where her glass was and is just drinking the water now. Mostly out of habit, that like, I am drinking something, so I guess it's water now.
Sure.
Yeah, Corinne, as you look out, you notice that you do not see, you don't see Grim and Bones.
Can't be good.
Do we see the fireworks?
Yeah, actually, as you guys, you know, kind of move to the window, the fireworks start to go off. A beautiful display of, unsurprisingly, roses.
Grim, who has not been warned that there will be fireworks, let me roll wisdom save.
Sure.
Not great.
Oh no.
Let's see. So that's a 13. So I think they don't actually yell or hit the ground, but there's definitely a yelp and a startle and some swearing under their breath in Elvish.
Bones looks up and she goes, that sucks. And she will cast a silence bubble around you all. She loses her invisibility, but now you are in a bubble of silence.
Delightful. I'm
So-
still invisible.
You're still invisible, and now you can't hear anything.
Perfect. I resume lounging.
Erebus,
Content with the state of affairs.
actually anyone at the window or anyone looking for the parent out into the gardens can make a perception check.
That sounds fun.
Okay.
Gonna do that.
That's going to be
Well, that's not
a
great.
24.
Okay.
It's a 14.
Oh, good for Erebus.
24.
Erebus, you see Bones' occasional, like, fluffy mane of... And she does herself have hair, so it's not that... It is not surprising that Grim pointed out that maybe it was her cousin. You do see her occasional flash of, like, that pink blonde hair kind of poking out above these hedges. And you notice that this lion statue is growing infinitely more interesting as the fireworks wear on. It is now full on holding a glass of wine in an upright paw, balancing it on the top because it wasn't actually, she didn't use like stone shape or anything. But it is quote unquote holding a whole glass of wine. Wearing glasses.
Amazing.
With a with a diamond necklace.
Flower crown. And a diamond necklace. Incredible. So Erebus is just gonna laugh and then kind of nudge Corinne lightly and glance that way and say, I figured out what they were up to. It's not fireworks. And it's fine.
I'm so glad it's not the fireworks. I knew it was. It couldn't have been the fireworks. But I'm so glad to be wrong.
Oh, that's fine. And Corinne will then, like, depart from the window.
I mean, confirmed. You still haven't seen Graham.
I mean, she's
I
assuming,
can.
Fair.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
either Grim
I know
is
it's
hiding,
Bones, and Grim was with Bones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she will turn from the window and refill her plate with more fruit and cheese.
I realizes at this point that fruit exists, that the food table exists, and starts to load up her own plate as well.
Yes, good.
Okay.
Yeah. She hadn't eaten anything all day, and that's kind of been catching up with her.
Oh, gosh.
And now she's going to be remedying that situation.
Love that for her.
Good. Load up on cheese.
Yeah.
Steal a whole wheel of fancy cheese
Okay.
like Bones did. I mean, what?
Exactly.
Love that for her.
All right.
Okay.
So the fireworks do go off, eventually stopping. Bones gives you a firm nod to Grim of a job well done as she looks over her statue, which is thoroughly decorated. This lion now has a personality, and that personality is 90-year-old grandma who's just here to spread rumors.
Looks a bit like Eliana's friend.
I will die for this lion.
Elenia, I would say Elenia's friend.
Which one?
The blue one. That doesn't narrow it down as much as it might. Uriel is tall, right, as well as broad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grim will sort of like raise one of how tall?
Like 6'2".
6'1".
Okay, cool. We'll sort of raise their hand to indicate like someone about 6-8 inches taller than they are.
Oh, Uriel? I guess so.
Grim will sort of stare at the statue for a few moments. Are we out of water yet?
Oh yeah, she has drank the water and is moving away from the statue. Job done. She's all good.
Are you going back inside now, or are you going to do another one?
I only stole enough stuff for the one. Probably going to head out, actually. I think Reg is about done with this party.
Very good. I'm trying to decide whether I should collect Bosun or just leave him here. I'll collect him at some point, obviously. He'll come home. He would miss Corinne. He seems to be having a very good time.
The smart voice in my head says you should collect him. The chaos voice in my head says you should leave him here and see what the hell he does. He's a good party
The worst
person.
case scenario is not very bad for us.
No.
So, they shrug. Do you need a fish? I understand he has a fish now. I don't want a fish.
No. I have no place for a fish. I'm sure the rules of hospitality state that maybe they have to take it back to Elray's. If someone forgets a dog at your house, you don't just keep the dog forever, you return it, right? I don't know. I don't do pets.
It depends on what Calindra wants.
I have a wizard. I don't need a pet.
All right. Well then, off we go. Grim says, still invisibly.
Yep.
Um,
She's gonna head right back to the window.
I'm just thinking real quick. Let me look at something. Erebus, can you remind me, have you ever mentioned whether you can talk to plants? I feel like I have a vague
That's a
recollection
good
of you
question.
mentioning that, but I don't know if I'm confusing you with one of the druids that we met.
No, I don't think this is one of Erebus's spells.
Okay. Okay.
But let me just double check. Yeah, I think because she took Beastmaster and she doesn't have Talk to Plants as a spell.
Okay. I think Grim will do invisibly still. We'll do one more tour of the garden, looking for trying to make sure, keeping an eye, looking for Dahlia.
Okay. You see that Dahlia has set up around this statue. She and Lord Argent seem to be saying, talking quietly. Her friend Nimue is close, also talking to a gentleman. It's also kind of paired off a little bit.
Okay. Grim will just keep going then. Is not going to interrupt that. Will sort of stroll past, so like is going like this way, this way, this way. Whoops, there's a hedge there. As I pass the little pond where Bosun is paddling, is there still little crowd
Yeah,
watching?
there's people watching. He might be more interesting than the fireworks.
Okay.
Bets are being
and is-
taken. Like, rumors abound. He has enchanted the hearts and minds of the small crowd.
Bets and rumors to any sort of effect, or just sort of like, what is this weird creature?
What is this weird creature? Does it like cheese? I bet it can get I can get it to come over here with this glass of wine.
Grim, as they sort of hear that, without breaking stride or really looking over, I believe it's a Fey Winebird. Invisibly. And we'll keep going.
Oh, that rumor takes off like wildfire. Now that the bird has been identified, now there is at least 2 people in the crowd claiming to be experts on Fey Winebirds. One is opining at length about the various areas in the Feywild that one can find a Fey Winebird.
Excellent. Ooh. As I enter the building invisibly. Nope, I don't know anything about the dungeons. I don't think I didn't hear that part, did I?
No.
Or did I?
But
So,
beating you to the
Probably just as
inside
well.
will be Bones, who is just going to come on back through the window.
That's fun. I'm also approaching the window, but obviously we'll get there later than she does.
Okay. A different window or same window?
Same window.
Okay.
But she's got a lead.
Lovely work you did at the lion.
It was boring and needed help.
Sure. How much have you had to drink, Bones?
She kind of looks at you, grins, puts a finger to her nose. Lots.
Excellent. Perhaps we should join you in returning to the last call.
Oh,
Where's Reg?
He's
We should
going to
find
get the
Reg.
carriage and establish an alibi.
Establish an... What have you... Oh, dear. All right. We... Ooh. Yes. We should take you outside. Let's go outside. Everyone, let's go outside.
We should take you outside, everyone. Let's go outside.
So we don't have to rescue Elray tonight? Eliana asks with great relief.
I don't know how we would be expected to go about doing so if the alleged kidnapper disappeared in a cloud of sulfur and pomposity.
Neither do I. All I can think of is going to his house, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're at his house, and I don't want to go to his house.
No, I should say not. That can be a problem for tomorrow when we can reach out to someone who has reasonably regular correspondence with Elray and confirm or deny whether or not he has been seen.
Or
Great.
you can spy on him with magic. Bones offers helpfully / unhelpfully.
Yeah, that's a thing that can be done if
But
we...
Apparently it's rude.
I think Grim can do that.
I'm just so relieved he didn't propose marriage to me.
Oh.
I was really
Oh.
sad for a minute.
Understandably. The risk... I won't say that there's no risk. No chance of that happening. But yes, quite relieved that you dodged that one quite nicely.
I mean, I would have said no, of course, but it just would have been such a mess.
Well, the good news, I suppose, is that attention would have been very quickly diverted to either a different cat fight or a pair of assassins attempting to murder someone.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, we should go.
Let's go.
Corinne will start with her plate of cheese and fruit still in hand, like making her way outside.
Yep. I'm just gonna get
Hey,
out
home
of
then, I
there.
guess.
Assuming that Uriel continues to be in tow.
Yeah, Uriel's tired and just following.
Yeah. Oh, buddy.
Respect.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get the poor guy home.
So I guess after the rest of Corinne and Friends has left the party,
Grim comes through the window.
makes their way through the window, picks up another glass of water. Actually, you know what? They're this is the point at which they pick up a glass of Tsar. Wanders into the main hall. It sounds like everybody's left. So is there anybody in the main hall at this point?
Yeah, Say hasn't left yet.
Okay.
I think
I'm
Bones
still
and
invisible.
everyone kind of followed along, but Say is lingering a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Grim is gonna, without is trying to be sneaky, walking as quietly as they can, just sipping their glass of Tsar. Would like to walk behind the main table and see if there's anything here, like if anything fell out of anyone's pockets, or if there's like a drawer containing anything interesting.
Sure. You notice that there's definitely a sword strapped to the bottom of the table. And a couple of drawers.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, and a
What was
couple of
that?
drawers on the table, but if you open them up, it's mostly there's a healing potion or two in them.
Grim would like to study the drawer and try to tell if it's trapped. And one of the healing potion drawers.
Sure. It does not appear to be trapped.
Grim would like to pocket a healing potion.
Sure. Just one normal healing potion.
Okay. I'm just looking to see if I already have any to add to. I don't, so I will add a healing potion to my inventory. Slide the drawer shut. Looks up over at Say. For a moment, has invisibly their bad idea expression on, and then gives a quick head shake, drops into awakened mind. I almost walked up behind you and said boo. And then I realized that would be a very bad idea.
Not a good night for it, I would admit. And she kind of looks around, doesn't see you, and then just shrugs her shoulders and sips her wine. Stares quietly into the middle distance, like, a rough guess as to where you are. It's not the right place, but...
Fair, yeah. Telepathically again. Do you happen to know where the others went?
To fetch the carriage and leave, I think, is the plan.
To leave?
I think so. I'm not sure. Go back to the last call was the last I heard. I am sure that they were going to come look for you here in a moment.
Grim looks at the wine in their hand, looks at the door, looks at the chair they're sitting next to. I think it's gonna like push the chair with one foot, push the chair out, and sit down.
Bold. Say will turn and face in your general direction. And drink her glass of wine.
Grim also drinks there, takes a sip of Tsar. And it's just gonna wait for a few minutes to see what happens.
Alright, everyone, you're counting heads outside.
Yeah, I think Corinne
Yeah.
is kind of like herding the cats, and then it's just like, oh,
You have the correct amount of people, but not the right type, not the right people.
what has happened? We picked up new ones. This is all wrong.
forgot Grim.
This is all wrong.
We forgot Grim. Let's go get them.
So we're missing Grim, we're missing Bosun, we're missing Say. Although I don't know if Say's coming.
She did say she wanted to go back to the last call. But yeah, let's just go check and double check.
If I was her, I'd want to come with us and not stay here.
All right.
Reg pulls Bones into a carriage, waves at you all. Bones. Yeah, I think Bones is gonna climb into the carriage and grin at you all as she heads out. You get the feeling more mischief may have happened than you realized.
Oh, I certainly hope that she doesn't go to the call and burn it down now. Right. Shall we... What's the best plan of attack here? Shall we divide and conquer, I suppose?
I'm gonna send a message to Grim.
Do that. Yes. Do that.
And Eliana does cast message, and points towards the house where Grim might be. I think we've lost you. Where are you? We're outside, getting a carriage, and we don't want to leave without you.
Say and I are drinking in the ballroom.
Message back. Do you want to come back to the call with us, or do you want to keep drinking here?
There is a pause. Grim will still telepathically to say, did you want to go back to the ballroom? Or no, this is the ballroom. Did you want to go back to the call?
Yes. Most definitely, yes. But I'm going to steal a bottle of this wine before we go. And she grabs one of the giant carafes that is on the table and just walks out.
Telepathically to her to her back, because we'll charge you, and that you won't. But you don't tell people that you can bring your own, please.
No, this is a special friends thing. I can bring my own.
Very good.
Besides, I'm switching to vodka when we get there. This is for the carriage.
Carriage wine. Can I still respond to the message at this point, or
Yeah,
I don't
you
know?
can. Sure.
Okay. And we'll then sort of respond to Eliana's message. We'll be right there. Thank you very much. And we'll stand up. We'll push that chair back in as best they can to the position that it was when they found it. We'll pause. We'll move behind Kane Kyvel's chair and pull that out just enough and just crookedly enough to make it look like somebody was sitting there. And then we'll stroll towards the main door, still invisibly, with a glass of Tsar in their hands.
Bones would be proud.
Emerge through the door. Actually, I think we'll try to catch up with Say and try to duck through the door before it closes after her.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll say aloud, "Thank you all for waiting."
Oh gods.
You're welcome. Sorry that we didn't get you before.
Where
you
are
couldn't
you?
see me, so Grim will wave at Corinne, and then wait to see if her passive perception picks up the change in the air current.
Roll a stealth check with advantage, I guess? I don't know.
All right. With advantage, it's a 12.
Ooh, oh, buddy.
Yeah, you do that thing where you're gonna wave to her and then you kind of wave like really close to her face. It feels, Corinne, it feels very much like the sibling game. I'm not touching you.
Oh. Yeah. I grab their their wrist.
Uncontested, you have Grimm's. They will sort of try to change their grip to lace their fingers with Corinne's.
Yeah.
Say, as you guys have headed out, I'm sure most of you have dropped your plates and wines at various flat surfaces. Say hands out a new round of fresh glasses and tops off everyone's glasses you're heading out. Like, she fully intends to walk off with these glasses.
Grimm will clink their like the edge of their will like sort of push like sort of lift their glass under her free hand so that she knows where the top of it is.
Yeah.
And Corinne fully does still have her plate of food.
Grimm will also say aloud, Bosun won't be coming. He's going to continue enjoying the party for a while longer.
We have at least 2 Fey winebird experts in the garden, from what I heard.
Oh, that's delightful.
Oh, no.
Don't say I never tried to help you, Grimm says very cheerfully.
Oh, I'm so excited for the next time we go pub crawling.
Amazing. So we're all just going to, and Erebus kind of lifts her glass and gestures toward the door.
Yeah, I think we could use to be in a friendlier place.
Okay. Sounds fine to me.
Summon the carriage.
Uriel grins as the carriage rolls up, as he did summon it.
Good work, Uriel.
You can stay, sir. I like you. We'll keep you.
Corinne hears a very small strangled noise immediately to her. They would be on her non-dominant hand side, so whichever side that is.
It gives you a polite bow. My cousin might have something to say about that.
Oh no, you can stay.
Oh, okay. In that case, you can fight her. We'll just give a say. She won't notice the difference. Say grins.
Corinne does give Grimm a very small hip check at that small strangled sound.
Say just laughs and jumps into the carriage. That's fine. We were thinking about breaking down the wall and annexing your apartment anyway.
Grimm does not, in deference to Uriel's panic attack earlier, does not say anything.
Eliana then realizes what she's said and in a quieter tone of voice says to Uriel, that's not an invitation to move in, but I would like you to stay tonight.
I didn't...
Sir! Sorry, dog shenanigans.
I don't know if that was Rita talking to an animal. I was very excited to find out.
What did I do that you noticed?
What a plot twist that would be.
I had to speak to him before I could make it.
Amazing.
Erebus needs to know exactly what your intentions are.
Erebus is just happy that her new friend is in a functional relationship.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh.
So the last line then was, that's not an invitation to move in, but I would like you to stay tonight.
Uriel,
There was no sharp sir after that.
Yeah, Uriel nods. I wouldn't have taken it as one. seem clear you're joking, but I'm happy to stay the night.
Thank you.
And you all jump into the carriage, and I assume head back to the last call.
Yes.
Indeed.
Yep.
Could we grab a quick bathroom break?
Yeah, let's do a quick 10-minute break.
Delightful.
Excellent.
This is very fun. Thank you all.
Oh my god, I am so. I don't even know, but I'm having an amazing time.
It's very good. Parties are very
Yeah.
good.
Alright, I think once we have Hannah back, we'll be all back.
Speaking of Hannah,
Yay!
Oh, hello.
Alright. So as you all head back to the last call...
Let me...
Oh,
Okay,
start your
recording
recording again.
Thank you.
So as you all head back to the last call with your stolen cutlery and glasses, and in Corinne's case, a whole ass plate. Bones is not with you, but she stole a whole ass wheel of cheese for those keeping track.
Love that for her.
You all head back to the last call. It's a quiet night. Actually, most people seems like they've settled down for the evening. Looks like it's a quiet...
What time is it about?
Oh, gosh. I'd say solidly like 11. 10 or 11.
That's late.
Yeah.
Late, but earlier enough for an after party.
Late but early enough for an after party. You all have killed the bottle of wine from which Say stole from the ballroom. She has just tossed the carafe underneath one of the carriage seats.
love that for us.
You guys feel like she's drinking a lot very quickly. Do with that information what you will.
That's
Gonna be a side eye.
Yeah, that's stressful with family, is it?
Well, she did say no granddaughter of mine, but she did end the sentence not as favorably.
Oh.
She kind of looks to Uriel like, give me a minute.
Grim is still invisible at this point.
Of course.
I do apologize in advance for this one. There were concerns about her being raised at the court.
Why exactly? Are they not into religion?
Not as a rule, no.
Well, what were they thinking was going to happen as an alternative?
They were very surprised. I threw this at them very quickly. But the fight ended with, no granddaughter of mine is going to be raised in a religious cult overseen by a bunch of nosy vagabonds. And she just takes it.
So they actually care about you being associated with a cult now. So they Aramis is like, had a couple levels of
Aramis
wine.
is salty.
She's like furious. She's like, so it was fine when they were arranging your fiance to marry someone who was in a murderous cult, but now they think that the Court of Ravens is a cult.
They don't
and
believe
no,
I.
and what?
I don't.
I'm sorry. I fail to see how it's their business now after everything that they've done to you.
I don't think that they knew that the first one was a cult. To be fair.
Wasn't it obvious after you removed his head from his shoulders?
Well, after that, then all talks of the marriage were off the table at that point. You can't really marry someone you beheaded.
If they want you to be an adult, then they need to stay the hell out of your business. And Aramis
monologue,
is like,
Aramis.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, Corinna's in the coach, just like cheese,
like popcorn.
Oh yeah. She's working with what she's got.
I think Grim is so invisibly next to her. I think has released her hand, but is definitely like leaning their head on her shoulder and less unless she would have tensed up at all.
Nah, they're invisible.
Yeah, carry on. So
Fine.
they are also
Okay.
watching. Like, they're listening intently. I don't know. I can't remember if they actually have heard this about Say's backstory before.
Yeah.
But yeah, is content to
Okay.
watch.
The monologue is the absolute gall of these people. I cannot believe, and just kind of more of that.
Delightful.
Most of what she's thinking is coming out of her. She's had a couple. She's mad. Just like, pick one and stick with it.
Yes.
Honestly.
There are also some concerns about how he's going to keep her safe, with the threats against me. Which seems ironic that they want me
Oh, so
to...
now they're concerned.
Well,
Now they're concerned.
they're concerned about her, at least.
Are they?
She kind of shrugs.
Or are they just trying to make your life miserable?
I think that they are concerned in their own way. I think that they don't understand how my life works if they feel that she'll be safer if I live in a very normal house on a normal street in the normal part of town, versus the very well guarded Court of Miracles.
Probably less they're
I'm
actively
gonna say,
trying
like-
to make you miserable, and more of just like, why aren't you doing it the way
The
that
way
I
I
would
did
do
it, yes.
Yes, exactly. I hear you. We get it.
I need them to explain to me exactly how having a paladin and a gunslinger for parents is going to make this child unsafe. Except that I don't want them to explain it to me, I just want them to back off.
I was going to say you want them to explain that to you.
Yes. Except that I don't. I need them to just
Well,
leave you
the
alone.
concern is I live
to
a
say.
very unstable life, and thus have not given this enough thought, I think was their concern. My father did mention that if we needed to, we could find her a very reputable orphanage.
No, we're not going to be doing that.
No,
Mm-mm.
that's not
No.
happening.
That's horrifying.
Yes, it
No.
really is. She just,
I thought they meant Alina. They meant...
they meant, no, we're
Corinne
talking
just kind of
about,
like blinks at like the space where Grim occupies for a few moments. I think they know that Alina has parents.
Do you understand my confusion? Carry on.
I mean,
without picking up
I
your
know
head.
that you can protect Penny yourself or you wouldn't have taken her in, but also they will have to go through me.
I don't think that they could put together any sort of serious plans to take her from me. The only ally they would have would be my grandfather, who I am assuming would say, I don't give a fuck if she wants to take in strays. So she just kind of shrugs and leans back and refills. She pulls out a flask and starts filling the wine glass with something that is not wine, very clearly not wine.
Okay, well that's the
Is it-
first positive
What
thing I've heard about
was
your
it?
grandfather all evening.
Is it water?
Again, we're on the
Oh, it
vodka.
is not water. It is spicy water.
I'm just going to sigh very heavily and would like to try to swipe the flask.
Yeah, roll a
Like we'll sit up and attempt to swipe the flask.
roll a sleight of hand check with advantage, and I'll roll to defend with the
Well,
disadvantage.
that was terrible. That 1 and a 2. So the best thing
Oh,
is
no.
an 8.
Yeah, so you go to swipe it, but you're invisible, and the carriage is rocking, so, like, her hand just moves out of the way. Not even out of anything on purpose, like, she's not trying, it's just, you can't seem to get it within reaching distance.
Let me double check what breaks invisibility. Attacks or casts the spell. Okay, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's not just any action.
Yeah.
There is another, like, even heavier sigh, and they sit back and put their head back on Corinne's shoulder.
No, I'm used to it at this point, to be honest. It's not unexpected, it went fairly well, all things considered.
Erebus is thinking about that.
Not what I actually
and
better
is-
than I
and
anticipated.
She kind of absorbed that and then sits back in her seat with an expression of, well, that doesn't make it fine, but she's not going to argue because these aren't her family. And if Say says it's better than usual, then that's Say's business, but also she's mad. So
I had anticipated them having more commentary on the fact that she's not an elf, and therefore will, let's be reasonable, die before me.
I mean, that is the conundrum.
You win some games of bingo, you lose some games of bingo. Yes? What? Yes? She'll direct toward Grim.
Would you like us to save you from yourself or not, Say?
No, not tonight, thank you.
All right, carry on. That's Grim's contribution.
I love them.
Amazing.
Are we almost at the call? Or
Yeah,
we
you guys
have
are
ways
pulling
to
up to
go?
the call at this point.
Okay. I think I'm trying to think. I think they're not sure what they know what they want to do, but they're not sure what they want to say. Let me just I'm just going to roll something. They feel like they should say something. That's pretty good. I think they drop into Awakened Mind to Corinne. Too many feelings? Or are you entertained?
Um,
And we'll put push an invisible hand against her arm, like thumbs up and then thumbs down.
I think she puts it kind of somewhere in the middle. She just puts a hand on her lap, flat.
They'll just sort of tap the back of her hand with a finger, and sort of address the group in general. We'll race you inside, and would like to dimension door out, taking Corinne if she's willing.
Always.
So if we are within 500 feet of the call, we will arrive just inside the door. If we have more than 500 feet, we'll arrive 500 feet closer.
Fucker. Dude!
Oh no, Merlin!
Elbows! Elbows are sensitive.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, kitty.
Go hang out with Percy. Anyway, sorry about that.
In the distance, Grim and Corinne can hear Erebus go, "That's cheating!" She's had 2 glasses of wine. There's no restraint anymore.
Eliana responds, "It's never stopped them before."
True.
I'm going to walk on the ceiling and leave footprints. Just to annoy them.
On our ceiling?
Yes. She looks as though she had not thought that through all the way. But also, she's had at least 2 glasses of wine and a glass of vodka in the carriage. She is toasted. Grim and Corinne, you arrive at the last call first.
Yeah. Grim will sort of spin. Now it has become visible again, but I think doesn't quite clock it. Will would like to spin Corinne around before stepping back.
she will allow it, but also just sort of like, oh, well, all right, we're doing this.
Oh. Hi.
Hi. We can see you again.
I would not have done that here if I could remember. I'll get some water. And wine.
Yes, please.
And we'll take off at the bar.
Yeah.
You notice behind the, in front of the bar, not behind the bar. She knows her place. Alina is sitting, waiting.
And I'm sorry, you said it was a quiet night. Is that also at the call, or is that...
It's a quiet night at the call. Except
Okay.
Alina is sitting and waiting. You see that she has a lute sitting next to her. She is leaning back in her chair and drinking and has a rum drink on fire in front of her. Just waiting.
Grim will just continue to the bar, slide behind it. Start collecting a pitcher of water and a couple of glasses onto a tray. Pour a glass of root wheel. They still have their glass of Czar, which they've been sipping, but slowly. So I think they still have a couple of sips left. We'll sort of top that, like not top it off, like refill it about halfway. Cohen will have a chance to get to actually talk to Alina first, unless Alina addresses them.
Corinne goes to find a table.
Okay.
Alina will give you a raised eyebrow look, Grim.
I raise an eyebrow back.
How bad is it on a scale of like 1 to 10?
10 which part,
being,
please?
10 being that Say has murdered everyone and Uriel is, I don't know, shit-faced in a corner.
What is 1?
They are both happy and cracking jokes with each other and smiling and all that.
Let me think. And we'll finish assembling the glasses and bottle onto the tray. Yeah, that's does 7 have any murders? Or is 7 just, where do the murders begin, please?
Murders begin at 8, so...
6.
6, okay, good to know.
It may be 7 by now.
Oh, alright,
I left them in the carriage.
I still
not
have
all that far away,
some
but
healing ability.
Grim nods. Glances at her drink. Glances at her. Does she seem like this is like her first or her third, or where are we?
Sure. You get a glance at her. It looks like, she's definitely, like, her hair is wet. Her hair is still wet. And she's in clean clothes, but they are definitely like, I just put these on.
Okay.
And she does not look like she blows out her drink and has a sip, but it looks like if she's been drinking, she's been nursing a drink. She's not at all intoxicated. She's good to drive. Like, that's how not intoxicated she is.
Okay. Grim will sort of turn back. So they've got their tray of goodies. We'll turn back. We'll fill another pitcher of water. Set that and one glass in front of Alina. It's not for you.
I anticipate
You should make her drink it.
Yes.
Very good. And then we'll take their tray over to the table that Corinne has found.
At that point, the carriage pulls up. The door is opened for you all.
Erebus charges through. Cheating!
Grim is like sitting with their feet like in one chair with their feet kicked up on another chair. We'll raise their half full Czar class to Erebus and salute.
Eliana's gonna try to linger and catch Uriel outside for a moment.
Sure.
Oh.
Say we'll head immediately inside. But we'll pick up with Eliana and Uriel.
You want to be doing this right now. She gestures towards the call.
We should end it on a good note, I think, if we can.
I think we can.
I'm just tired. It just takes a lot out of me. I'm all right.
All right. I'm glad you're okay. I'll want to find out. I'll want to talk about that when it's a better time. But it seems like that time is not now.
I don't know if there's much to talk about, to be honest. It's assassins
Yeah,
appearing out of nowhere when unexpected, when I have not brought any weapons and are completely unarmored.
of course. The only question that I would have is what I could do for you.
I think you did everything. You and your friends kept me grounded and safe until I could come back to my senses, and then we are going to relax, and I will spend the night with you with probably a lot of lights on.
Yes. That is what I would like to do.
And he wraps an arm around your shoulders and gives you a squeeze.
She gives him a hug back. Let's go.
So you all who are in the tavern, Alina is kind of just waiting, just drinking a drink, sipping her rum drink, Loot by her side, as Say kind of... She's not... It's hard to stumble when gravity is in your control. When everywhere you put your foot is in fact ground. It makes it a little bit more difficult to misstep than most.
As this, like, Corinne can sense a thing about to happen, and, like, as Grim comes back to the table, she's sort of like, did you bring any sort of fried food?
Looks at their tray where there is no food whatsoever.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's not, is it?
It's all right. I shouldn't be so gleeful and anticipatory with this one.
Oh, you meant for you. I'll be right back.
She just kind of stares at them like...
I thought you meant for her to help with the absorption.
Well, also
no,
that.
hold on, it's fine.
They
stand up.
You stand up.
Fine.
Around.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm a shit.
Yes, but you're my shit. We'll like reach over to the neighboring table, and where there's like a nearly empty but not entirely empty bowl of like the whatever little nuts or what bar nuts were put out from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We'll slide that over in front of Corinne. I'll be right back, and then we'll head to the kitchen in search of whatever sort of last call snackies are available.
Yeah, Philip is kind of setting up. He's in the kitchen. He's cleaning up. As you walk in, he'll look at you. Hey, boss, what can I get for you?
I'll look around the kitchen. Is there anything that I don't want you to have to make additional... What's left by way of food?
Why don't you...
Not full meals, like finger foods.
A bit low on anything. Everything at the moment. We've sold out pretty well earlier tonight. What are you looking for specifically? Like, what... Do you have, like, a specific type?
Popcorn? Do we have any popcorn?
Yes. You want me to make you some?
Not me. Like head tilt towards the tavern space. Corinne, please.
Fair enough. Regular or sweetened?
Oh, gets a bad idea expression, suppresses it. Regular, unsweetened. Maybe a bit of cheese, if that's easy. And then we'll look around for the end of a loaf of bread, like with a couple of slices left.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll cut a couple of thick slices of bread, throw it on a plate, put a smear of butter next to it, and we'll sort of return to the tavern space, drop that off next to Alina's and the pitcher of water, and then we'll continue back to the table, Corinne's table. The cook will be. I did not tell him to.
What did you do, Grim?
I was very. Nothing. I did nothing at all. And sips their czar. And puts their feet back up.
Awful lot of stammering to get around to nothing.
You'll see.
At this point, Say does enter. She is weaving. Alina kind of stands, moves over to her and kind of wraps an arm around her.
Oh.
Right, let's get you sitting, shall we? And kind of tucks her onto a chair. Alright, now where is my cousin? I know that there's two of you that I need to take care of tonight. Yeah, I think at that point, Uriel and Eliana will come in.
Lena, good to see you. You done with the liches, or was it bitches?
It was liches this time. It was the flesh golem.
That sounds nasty.
It was terrifying. But not as bad as what you had to deal with, I suppose. And she kind of cuts her eyes to Uriel, who kind of just waves her off.
It was, you would have liked it, I think.
Oh, I am certain I would have been escorted out never to return. Wouldn't have been the first time.
Wait, what was that about the first time?
I said it wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, yes. You still would have liked it.
I brought my instrument. And she kind of holds up her lute case.
You're going to start playing them?
I was hoping to.
Eliana gestures toward the stage. You want company or no?
I do. And she's going to grab the front of Uriel's shirt and pull him up on the stage. Uriel protests. But not a lot. Not strong enough to overcome Alina's drive.
Can this be when Philip delivers the popcorn?
Yes. Philip brings out. He actually doesn't bring out just like a small bowl of popcorn. He brings out a couple of large bowls of popcorn, as if anticipating that many people would like popcorn this evening.
Ooh. Erebus grabs a small bar plate and runs over. Popcorn!
Eliana is still hungry, and so she accepts popcorn. Thank you.
Thank you, Philip!
Phil gives you a wave, heads back to the kitchen.
Grim would just have like pointed at the table in front of them to signal one of the bowls should go in front of Corinne.
Yes, one of the bowls is definitely in front of Corinne. Say we'll just lean on Aravis, like hit arm on the shoulder.
Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
I may have had a lot in a very short period of time. Huh.
She hears in her mind, I did try to warn you.
Yes. Yes, mysterious voice in my head, you did try to warn me.
They reach over
right,
and take
Grim,
a
got
handful
it.
of popcorn.
Have some popcorn, and Erebus like offers the plate.
Oh yeah. Say we'll definitely be stealing not Corinne's bowl of popcorn, but one of the bowls of popcorn that was brought out. Say has just commandeered it.
Excellent.
Yeah. If
Erebus
anyone
steals
attempts
from that
to,
bowl.
yeah, if anyone attempts to like put their hand in Corinne's bowl,
As
they
a
promptly
slap
get
to the
smacked.
hand. Yeah.
Grim just did.
Yeah,
Like, smack.
yeah, Grim for sure gets smacked on the hand. But I would imagine that probably doesn't deter them.
Not at all. They
Yeah.
put their glass down and try to swipe some with their other hand.
Yeah, checks out.
Yeah. And Alina bullies Uriel into playing a set. He does look like he's having a good time. It takes him like a song to warm up, but then he does look like he's having a good time.
Yay.
Oh.
Good. I love that for him.
He brings out his viol and begins to play as well. And they sing a couple, Alina's mostly singing. Definitely singing at least one song that has Say turn bright red, matching her hair.
Oh, is that one about you?
She nods a little bit. That one is, yes.
That's adorable. Thinks pretty highly of you, I think.
I hope so. The kid together and everything.
He does. Eliana leans over to share.
Just to confirm, everyone else is at the same table. Is that correct?
I feel like, yeah, everyone is probably settled
Okay.
at the same table. Unless anyone has some super opinions.
Just checking for blocking purposes.
Yes.
Perfect.
Uriel does sing a couple of duets, specifically a few in the language that is most commonly spoken, Luskan, which is not English, it is Dwarvish.
None of us understand.
Ooh.
No one understands Dwarvish.
Hooray!
What's
Love that for
Dwarvish?
us.
Delightful.
It sounded very nice. I don't know what the hell they were saying, but it's it's one of those languages that I just the voices were good. Voices were good. Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes that's all you need, you know?
I've been torn on whether to try to learn Dwarvish next or try to learn Celestial or I don't know.
Ooh,
I think-
you could learn
let me-
Celestial and then you could learn it with me. We could be Celestial buddies.
You're learning Celestial too?
I haven't learned it yet, but I do want to.
When Eliana, that's a 8 dex save. When Eliana mentions that she's thinking of learning Celestial, Gim chokes on a bit of popcorn and coughs for doesn't actually choke, but definitely coughs for a few minutes, and then takes a big gulp of sour.
Are you alright?
Caught in my throat a bit. Carry on.
Alright. Are you interested in learning any languages?
Why? I mean, not why do you why?
I was just trying to figure out how to carry on.
Oh, that makes sense. And I think Grim looks up at the stage
Mhm.
and looks at Eliana. I think it's our turn.
Oh, do you
Okay.
play?
Do you
I-
play?
Do not. I sing a bit.
Do you sing? Ooh. Okay. And she claps her hands a little bit.
I'm gonna need my loot.
You can use
Hang on.
mine,
Okay.
depending on how you feel about touching another girl's loot. She'll give you a big old wink and hand you her loot.
I mean, if you're okay with it, Eliana gives her a theatrical look back.
Bold, Alina. Very bold.
Oh, I will never be accused of being shy.
Absolutely not.
Wasn't going to. And Eliana's off to the stage with Grim.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Grim will sing a bit
yeah.
since it's very quiet here.
Lanya will accompany.
Roll a performance check for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, 21.
Nice.
30, 20 here, so.
Nice.
Guys are starting to get more customers come in, hearing the music playing.
When like I think Grim makes it through 2 songs, notices that more people have come in. Glances at Eliana, kind of like small apologetic smile. I think that's enough for me then. Thank you.
She gives them a small bow of acknowledgement. That was well done.
And you.
Thank you.
And will retreat to the table.
Eliana will do
Erebus claps for them.
solo.
They like head down, not looking at anyone, slouch back into their chair, kick their feet back up, reach for the popcorn.
Corinne kind of like bumps her shoulder against theirs a little bit and just like, quietly.
Mhm.
I keep forgetting how good you are at that.
That's the idea. Like smiling into the popcorn. Does anyone we know come in?
Why don't you guys roll me some fate die? Let's see who comes in.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay. Is that just a D20?
Yeah, just straight flat d20.
5.
7.
7.
Five, 15, 7. Okay. Give me a minute. I feel like I'm missing somebody.
We
There
had
goes.
2
Raina's?
7s.
Oh,
We
we
had
have
two
2
sevens.
7s. Okay.
Oh,
Yep.
we
We
do
had
have
2
2
sevens. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
alright. That would explain it. Okay. Let me just... Corinne, who do you want to walk in right now?
Oh, gosh. Like, part of me, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say I would love for Bo to show up.
Yes.
Whether or not that's a realistic one, I will leave for you to decide.
He will show up, but you have to not hold it against me if I'm slightly out of character for him.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. You hear a commotion at the door as your brother Bo shows up. What instrument does he play?
He is he plays the lute among others. But primarily the
damn.
lute is his preferred instrument.
He hears some lute music that he could not resist, and you see him just stroll right in.
Eliana recognizes the face of Venom Cathra, thinks she has some idea who this is, rolls a nat 20 on her performance check. She is not intimidated somehow. She's doing great.
Oh my god! It's like Corinne just like leaps up from her chair and like runs over and like tackles him in a hug, and just gonna like, "You, where have you been? You've been gone for a year. My God, I've missed you so much. How is? You're alive. You're fine. Oh my God, you're alive. Thank God. Oh, who are you traveling with? What, is your party here? Are they in town? How long are you staying?
Just me for tonight. I'm staying for an unknown amount of time, and home, I suppose, if not somewhere else. My friends are talking about getting a boarding house.
Oh, where have you been on the road? I know you just sort of left and didn't really give a forwarding address or anything like that. But
North, south, mostly east.
It's
not west. West is boring. I've already been there.
no, west is the ocean. I would certainly hope you would not be walking into the ocean. Someone else is in charge of navigating. You travel with a competent navigator, right?
Of course, yes, I do.
Thank God.
I am not in charge of where we go, just doing things when we get there.
I'm so glad to hear it. Oh, come, you have to, so I don't know if you've heard stories about what's been going on in Waterdeep since you left, specifically in the last 6 months. But I've joined an adventuring party. We discovered the location. Do you remember the stories about Neverember's embezzled funds and all that sort of thing?
Mm-hmm.
We found it, and are sort of like minor heroes in the city. The Open Lord gave us, a finder's fee, and we own a tavern now. Technically, one of us owns a tavern, really. The rest of us just sort of exist here. Come on, you have to meet everyone. And she like drags him over to the table.
Yeah, he heads right over.
Grim has definitely was almost stood up as she sort of rushed off. I think doesn't know Bo, but has heard also would recognize the Catherine likeness. Also, I think puts together has heard enough Bo stories, and sort of watching puts together who this probably is. I think just sort of as they return to the table, has sort of quietly gotten up, pulled Corinne's chair back, pulls their chair back for Bo.
He will give you a chivalrous nod and take a seat.
So this is Grim. They're the one who actually is sort of the brains behind the space here. Their pet project. This is Aravis. She's fairly new, staying with us, but as we've started working together rather well, actually. And who else is at the table? Eliana's here, and
Eliana's on the stage, I think.
Oh,
Eliana's on the
right.
stage.
Eliana's on
Say
the
and
stage.
Alina are at the table.
Okay. This is Say. She's very drunk right now. Please don't judge her based on tonight's interactions. It's been a very challenging day. And this is Alina, one of the Luskan Taldores in town, and then gestures to the stage. And that's Eliana, very talented musician in her own right.
Grim will, there's a pause, and will offer Bo their hand.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll give him their very best handshake.
Bo gives you a strong handshake back.
And then we'll sort of glance at Corinne. Is this table anywhere near the wall, or are we sort of floating in the middle of the room?
I'll say it's near a wall. There's too many of you that prefer walls, and by too many of you, I mean 2 of you that prefer walls.
Yeah. And I think we'll just sort of like having given up their chair, rather than take the chair that they had their feet on, or grab a chair from another table, we'll just sort of like 2 steps sideways and just sort of leans back against the wall. So they're not like leaving the area; they're just sort of standing quietly, sort of maybe just a little bit behind Corinne's shoulder. And we'll just sort of hang out and watch.
Eliana will finish up her song, and will come over to the table. Hi, she'll say to Bo.
Hello! Beautiful playing.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I'm Eliana. You must be Bo?
I am.
It's nice to meet you. Corinne told me I would like you. Well, I don't think she said that, but, after she told me about you, and I definitely thought that I would like you.
A lot of people like Bo. He's
Yeah.
probably the most agreeable of all of us.
Gives you a wide, charming smile.
Alright. I'm gonna go get a drink. Anybody, I'm gonna go get a drink.
I was
Flirting
just
without
gonna say,
even trying.
I feel like Bo should be like automatically rolling persuasion flirt checks.
Yeah,
all
on
times.
literally everyone.
Just like passive flirt.
Passive
His
flirtation.
passive
Plus
flirtation,
12.
I rolled 4 die, and he has not rolled below a 15 on anybody.
Amazing. Checks out. Crushing it.
Even
Absolutely.
the lesbian at the table was like, okay, this kid's got something.
Amazing.
Alina Lass. Alright, so where have you been all this time, huh? Worrying your sister to death?
Well, only in so much that I naturally worry about this one.
Bo kind of grins. Well, we went to Comia for a bit. Most of the time was in Comia, actually.
What's in Cormier?
I am an official adventurer. And he pulls out a whole-ass writ from his pocket. He has a license for adventuring.
Purvis just kind of stares at it. He's like, I didn't know that you needed one of those, but okay.
You do in Comia. It has like a purple dragon crest on it.
I had no idea. It's very formal. Did you leave intending to go to Cormier, or did you run into a caravan that just sort of was like, we're going to Cormier, and you said, that sounds great?
A couple of us were hunting for adventure, and adventure is always well paid in Comia, so Comia it was.
It's extremely fair. Have you...
Corinne,
go
you
ahead.
know Cormier is a very wealthy nation.
Okay.
One of the most prosperous countries in Faerun. But also has a lot of threats. And has a whole ass system for licensing adventurers in order to supplement their military.
Ah. Gotcha.
It's frowned upon to to adventure without an official license.
Okay. So have you been to see Mum and Dad at all? Or did you just come straight here? Start with that.
I was walking down the road. I heard some excellent music and had not seen anyone yet because I'm just in town, and wandered in, and here you are, which is not surprising. I should have expected to find you amongst the best music.
Well, yeah.
But did not expect you to find you here, or in a bar.
Really? Where did you expect me to find me?
Grim has a similar expression. Like, has been mostly very like focused, neutral, but definitely like, oh come on expression a little bit of that.
Well, okay, maybe at a ball, but I didn't know if you would get sucked back into family drama.
Oh, I don't. I try to avoid it as much as possible. Callie's well, by the way. She is expecting her third, doing very well. Much better than the last two. The kids are quite charming. Cadencia has a similar predisposition towards the skill set that I possess. And I entirely encouraged to continue pushing her in that direction. Orion is still very awkward. Means well, but very awkward. I actually just saw him the other day, which was interesting. He's making friends, so he seems to be doing all right.
Orion is making friends.
Well, he's made our friend.
That sounds more right. That sounds correct. Yes.
Yes. And then Mum and Dad I haven't really heard much from, although apparently Callie tells me that grandmother and grandfather have apparently abandoned me as a lost cause, which is perfectly fine by me.
Eliana returns with more wine at this point. I'll drink to that.
Say raises her hand, as will I, and Alina just goes, nope. No, you won't. You're going to drink water and eat this very greasy food. Thank you.
Say has experienced some family drama just this evening, so I will leave it at that.
Yeah. Alina looks at Say and is just like, you can tell she wants to know all of the tea, but is leaving it for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Corinne would have sort of at the point at which sort of Corinne was starting to talk about sort of the family stuff and avoiding it, sort of on the wall behind her would have sort of lifted one hand, trying to be very sneaky to sort of set it against her, the hand flat against, like not up on her shoulder, just sort of flat against her back for a moment, and then sort of dropped it back to their side as the conversation turned back to other people's family drama.
Well, I was
Who
right.
among us hasn't had some family drama, am I right? Erebus takes a big gulp of her drink.
Alina raises her hand. Never have I ever, except to, yeah. When
They also raises their hand,
Well,
but just very slightly, and then like makes like a 50-50, like sort of an uncertain like finger wobble, and then lowers their hand too.
You know, that doesn't surprise me because I've met one of your mothers, and she's great. Like her. Very good.
Though, to be fair, they mostly outgrew the storming out and the high drama. It's mostly relaxed now.
I'm glad someone has that.
Yeah, until some shiny-faced cleric tries to show up and steal my mama.
DM, has there been have I had a short rest since Dimension Dooring out of the carriage?
Yeah, sure, I'll give you that. Mostly because I know you're going to use it for shenanigans.
I sure am. Detect thoughts on the surface thoughts from the entire table except for Corinne, Eliana, and Uriel.
Okay.
Everyone else. So, Erebus, Say, Alina, Bo.
Alina is thinking distinctly back to a period where her mothers were fighting with each other and both trying to storm out at the same time.
Oh no. That's not funny, but it is hilarious.
It's hilarious.
How many doors? How many doors were there?
It's less about the doors than the number of grapple checks, including.
No, you can't storm out until I've done it.
Amazing.
No, you're not leaving. I'm leaving.
I'm leaving.
Which is hilarious in hindsight now that she's a grown up and was a little bit like, what the fuck when she was a kid.
Incredible.
And I mean that enough of that. You get enough of that memory to realize it was because Kiora said something about how childcare is downtime.
That incident.
You're aware. Hannah knows.
Oh no.
Grim
dear.
doesn't know, but Hannah knows.
Hannah's aware of that.
Yes. Yes.
Wow. When childcare is downtime, you know it's real.
Let's see. Say is still deep in her feels about how are you going to even protect this child if you can barely protect yourself, and is having a very slight anxiety spiral that looks like you can see Alina keeps like nudging her or pulling her in closer, being very like openly affectionate with her, in ways that you wouldn't expect Say to enjoy, but Say is definitely leaning into it.
Okay. Is there any so like deep in the bad head space anxiety spiral? Does Say feel like is there a sense that this sort of that Alina sort of has it has it handled insofar as one can have it handled?
Yeah.
Or is it sort of okay?
You feel like Say is reading Alina, or Alina is reading Say very well, and every time it gets like kind of to that point where it's starting to get bad, she like bumps her or does something to like distract her. Say is very easy to distract, so it's not that hard, especially when she's very drunk.
Excellent. Okay.
Erevis, I believe, is the other person at the table.
Erevis and Bo.
Erevis can go first.
Okay. Erevis is not incensed in any way. She's just kind of removed from it in the 2.5 drinks sort of way, but she definitely thinks about a line of elves, 2 of which look like her but older, so are presumably her parents. There's someone else who looks also like a ranger, and is mostly got a butter wouldn't melt in their mouth kind of expression, but Grim can kind of tell that Erevis is remembering a very what's the word that I want?
What is the word that you want? That's what we all want to know. What word do you want?
Yeah. It's like a kind of cunning look in their eyes, which is kind of off. And then some other elves who don't look like they're related to her. One of them whom might or might not be her ex, but who knows?
I'm sorry. The cunning look is also in the eyes of the one who with the butter wouldn't melt expression, the ranger type, or is that something different?
Yeah, the ranger. Yeah.
Okay.
Also looks somewhat older than Erevis.
And Bo.
Bo seems to be very just happy that Corinne looks happy. Corinne looks like she is thriving, moisturized in her lane, and Bo is ecstatic about it.
And Bo is not thinking about or wondering about this weirdo with the eye patch standing behind his sister at all.
No, his sister seems pretty happy, and he's been with adventurers enough now that he is a, quote, official adventurer capital letters, that he's not actually even at all, like, phased by whatever vibe you've got going on.
Fabulous. Grim will drop the spell. Anyone who is paying attention to Grim will sort of see, like, their shoulders come down just a little bit. They sort of, they are still like posted up, slouching against the wall, but it is a slightly more relaxed slouch
Yeah.
now. And they
If he
know what a
has-
sip of Czar.
Yeah, if he has any feelings about you, the feelings seem to be, there's a person. Seems to be making my
Perfect.
sister happy.
Oh no! Does Grim get that, or does
Probably.
Grim just get the?
Probably a little bit of that.
So sort of there is a so sort of I think that's probably like right as Grim starts to drop goes to drop the spell. So like there was this sort of the moment their slouch sort of relaxes, and then there's a moment where like they sort of startle tense. The sip of Czar turns into a gulp, like a bigger sip than they expected, than they had planned, and they let the spell drop. The end.
Oh no.
But Will and May just sort of quietly posted up, watching them like you can't move at that point. Or you make it like there's nothing you can do to make it better or less conspicuous.
Alina just laughing. She goes,
Casual.
look, any of you want to disown your parents, I will offer you my mother's for a very, very low price.
I'll take it.
Okay, I'll tell her in the morning. It might make things difficult with Uriel, but honestly, there's a little bit of that going on anyway, so you're fine.
Maybe not then.
No, you're a Taldori now, no take backs.
Yay!
You volunteered. But remember that at Sunday dinner.
I did, but that was before you told me it might get weird. What about
It's
Sunday
not-
dinner?
It's not weird, actually, to be honest. It's my mother's married siblings. It's not at all weird in our family. Oh, we're having dinner with Solda soon.
Oh.
Not for a month or two, so don't worry.
Not for a month or two is good.
Her birthday is coming up, and it will be a command performance. You'll be coming now that you're a Taldori.
I'm having second thoughts.
I said no take backs.
I'm not really having. I don't think I'm really having second thoughts. No.
Corinne just passes the bowl of popcorn to Bo.
Bo is just like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Taking popcorn.
It's great.
He just leans
Erebus
over.
starts actually.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Erebus starts asking the table when all their birthdays are.
Oh my god, I have to like pull up the calendar to see what the favorite calendar is.
Grim from the from the wall. Well, actually, Grim will let a couple of people answer first.
Corinne will jump in. Just Kython's 20 for me. Same day as the Ball of Blossoms. So there's obviously an incredible party for me every year that everyone holds.
Of course.
Of course. Mine
Grim's
is
birthday national
Tarsak.
holiday.
What was that, Eliana?
Mine is Tarsak 12. So it's right after the end of the Festival of Joaquin every year, which is not for me.
Eurogrunts, we can make it for you.
Should be. There should be a festival for you. You're great.
I agree.
If we have a festival that's more fun, that's for me.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm looking at calendars because I don't know how these work.
Grim will on the wall, sort of twisting their glass in their twisting the stem of the glass in their hand, like sort of rolling it back and forth. I think the glass is empty at this point because that was a very big gulp of Czar there at the end, and it was only half full to begin with. I don't know.
Okay. Did you pick an honorary birthday then?
Hang on. That's a that 20 performance check, total of 25, absolutely deadpan. Several.
Oh, that is good because if
Nice.
you didn't, we would have to make one up for you so we could celebrate it, and it would probably be tomorrow.
It's true.
It could be tomorrow.
You could be
Still absolutely
you could be,
deadpan.
Nighthall. You could be a Nighthall baby like me.
Corinne takes another handful of popcorn.
I'll take it under consideration.
Cool.
Alina kind of raises her hand.
And we'll drop into Awakened Mind to Corinne. Like tone is deeply mischievous, like obviously like trying to get her to break. Should it be tomorrow?
She kind of glances back at them and raises an eyebrow. And returns to her popcorn.
18 nope, 18 performance, butter wouldn't melt expression. Carry on. That's Hannah. That's they just butter wouldn't melt. Sort of goes to take a sip from their glass, realizes it's empty.
Yeah.
That's all.
Uriel kind of sighs. Alteriak, the 20th.
Awesome.
Say grins and goes. Kythorn 23rd.
Oh, we're almost birthday twins.
Almost. And Alina kind of stretches out and goes, Flame rule 4th.
Okay. Awesome. That's a pretty... Everyone's spread out of the year mostly, except for 2 of you. But that shouldn't surprise me, because you're both redheads and you're both way shorter than me.
What does that have to do with it, please?
Height is definitely affects birthdays. I am an expert in physiology, and I agree.
Well, you know, it does make sense though, because
Uriel's
Say and
just
I were
like,
both.
what? No.
Well, it does make sense. Wait for it. So, Say and Alina and I are all summer babies, and we were all on the shorter side of things. Bo is a December baby, is tall, or whatever the equivalent of is a Nighthall baby, and so
Nighthall. Oh, like
Nighthall. Yes. So winter, Uriel, also winter, also tall.
See?
Can't speak
me.
back.
Just points at her.
Uriel, I'm going to write a very scientific paper about it. And gives
You
Uriel
can't
a
dispute the
nod.
facts.
Uriel just like looks at her, and he just drinks a big swig of water. He's just like, I can't
Wait,
believe
Nervous, did we miss your birthday?
Nervous kind of thinks about this. I also missed my birthday. It was on the 2nd.
Oh dear.
But when you're 206, no, 207, you stop counting?
Right.
Well, happy birthday anyway.
Say like looks at you and like points at you like you just said the smartest thing. My body freaked the fuck out when I told him, oh, by the way, it's my birthday. They had a whole ass like, they're all mostly humans. They were like, what do you mean it's your birthday? Why did we miss your birthday? I was like, it's just a birthday. But I think it's a bigger thing
it's
with
just
humans.
the day you were born. I mean, some people like birthdays, and I like that for them, but...
Joke's on them, I had a surprise party and only I knew it was a party for me.
Erebus finger guns at her.
And I got cherry tarts.
Nice.
She nods.
Cherry tarts are delicious. Those cherry tarts earlier were really good.
They're my favorite. Our butler makes them special for me.
Ooh. Excellent.
Human food is so sweet. Like, I appreciate all of the humans at the table. I am sorry. But your food is so sweet.
Yes.
So
I know.
All of the humans, which is grim.
Yeah, there is an exaggeratedly slow like scan of the table.
He knows. They know. They eat sugar cubes. I have seen it.
It's not because I'm human, it's because they're delicious.
I beg to differ.
No, they're not.
Grim is going to snap their fingers. Once is going to lean to no apparent effect of anyone at the table. Is going to lean forward and set their empty glass down in front of Corinne, who I assume is within reach of multiple wine bottles. Will snap their we'll snap their fingers again. Bosun appears.
Bosun can't get drunk, can he?
No, Bosun is immune to poison.
Okay. Bosun
Let me just
smells like he
double-check
took
that,
a bath
but-
in a wine fountain.
Is he wet
He is
at all?
wet.
Like,
He is.
okay.
He is dripping, and it is red wine. And he is very pleased with himself.
And Corinne just looks at Bo and it's like, "This is Bosun. He's also with us."
Bosun makes a very happy chainsaw noise, wiggles his tentacles at Bo. Grim will reach reach to a nearby table, pick up a sugar cube, and toss it to Bosun. My only friend. They say to no one in particular.
Alina pouts like dramatically.
Grim will pick up another sugar cube and hold it up. And by the way, Grim has not looked at Bo throughout any of this. They are basically ignored, not freezing Bo out, but basically the only way they can do any of this is to pretend that he's not there. So they are pretending he is not there. Holds up the other sugar cube.
Alina opens her mouth like she will catch this with her mouth.
Raises an eyebrow. Will toss the sugar cube, trying to. We'll toss the sugar cube to Alina.
Oh yeah, she catches it like an expert.
Bianca then realizes that sugar cubes are in play and crawls onto the table and is like, me?
I'm next.
Grim is going to point at Bianca, look at Erebus.
Yeah, and she gives a thumbs up.
She wanted something earlier.
There was something in Bones' bag, but it ended up on the thingy. It's fine.
I thought she might be a snitch.
No. No, I'm sorry. I wanted her to get your attention because I was trying to get your attention, but you were talking to Bones and you weren't looking at me, which is fine because, you were having a conversation.
You were
also
having a conversation?
I sent Bianca, yes, but I also noticed something that you didn't. So I was trying to get Bianca to show it to you, but then you didn't seem to see it, but it ended up on the lion. So it's fine.
Bones was at the party? Was she intoxicated? She steals things when she's drunk.
Oh, extremely.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Is that what you had noticed?
Yes. Yes, there was a goblet in her purse.
So she's a snitch.
Grim
will toss Bianca a sugar cube.
Bianca catches it and starts eating it completely unconcerned. So she wasn't. So here's my logic as a person who was.
Grim leans
not
back against the wall,
fun.
expecting this to be a long explanation.
It is a long explanation. So Erebus goes on about how she's Bones can do whatever she wants. She's an adult, and I don't like the Kyrels anyway, and they could stand to use some of their fancy goblets, but other people know more about them than I do, and just in case it was a bad idea, I wanted someone else who maybe knows Bones a little bit better to notice, and if it was a bad idea, maybe talk to her, but I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. I just thought I would bring someone else's attention to it.
Is there crime family and all of that?
Sorry, what?
Eliana says, since they're crime family and all of that, and then she realizes.
Yeah, exactly.
Then she realizes she said that out loud, and she looks like she has some regrets about that.
Say laughs at that. To To be
Who
honest,
knows?
I don't think they're even going to notice the missing goblets. With the
Okay.
whole assassinations and everything. Also, and Alina just laughs. Plus, she doesn't like take the things. She just moves them to weird spots. 'Cause she's a cat.
You know,
Also
that makes a surprising amount of sense.
You hear a meowing sound as Quiche makes her way downstairs.
Gish knows.
Quiche is here.
She got drunk once and rearranged my entire cabinets. I could not find my teacups for a week. Did it make more sense the way she organized it? Yes, of course it did. However,
But they were your cabinets, dang it.
they were my cabinets, and then, then we made a bet and I had to do dishes for like a month.
I'll have to remember that for the next party I go to.
What, rearranging other people's cabinets?
Oh, yes, and gestures to Bo. We used to, one of the common activities that we would do at parties was to just get into general shenanigans. Lots of pranking or leaving special treats for someone to discover. We never did that one, though.
Bo laughs. I think that they would have noticed if we had started to the help would have noticed if we started rearranging the cupboards, and that would only really bother the help.
That's true, and that's rude.
That's mean.
Yes. No, only inconvenience the people who can afford to be inconvenienced.
Exactly. We don't mess with
They
people who
still-
are just there for a paycheck.
Yes, exactly. Perhaps I'll break into someone's jewelry box and just rearrange some things the next time I go somewhere.
Turn all their rings upside down.
Yes, that's very good. Move the earrings so that all the pairs are mismatched.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes.
Turn
Oh.
all the. Remember when we went to the party and we turned all the paintings upside down?
Yes,
And
that
then we
was
did
very
it-
good.
And then we got bolder through the evening, so that as everyone got more intoxicated, they couldn't tell if it was supposed to be like that.
Oh, that was fun. That's probably one of our better ones, actually. I remember trying to move the one painting that was the size of the wall almost. Without your, and she kind of like makes a vague magic gesture. It's like without that thing, I honestly don't know that we would have been able to do it.
I don't think we would have. Well, that's why we have those things. We could do shenanigans.
Indeed. I was very good lookout, and you were very good at talking your way out of things.
Deadly combination.
Very true.
Eliana is now telling Quiche all about the weird fish who she met today.
All right, and I think as everyone talks and settles down for the night, we're gonna call it unless there's something else someone wants to get on screen dramatically. I just looked at the time and realized we're coming up on.
Oh, yeah. I think Grim is all set. I will just stipulate that perhaps uncharacteristically, Grim might head up to bed before Corinne does, if she seems like she sort of is. If Bo looks like he's going to stick around,
Mhm.
And will sort of like they don't say goodnight or anything to anyone. They just sort of
Irish
eventually
goodbye.
sort of start clearing, like not clearing the table, like in a like it's time for everyone to leave, sort like that sort of way or anything. They just sort of take their glass, take like if there's an empty dish or something, we'll pick up the empty stuff, leave everything that anybody is still using, and we'll sort of walk into the kitchen. As they sort of leave the kitchen and head for the stairs, be awakened mind to Corinne. If he needs a place to stay, the attic room is available. And then we'll, without looking, like we'll immediately redirect their gaze to the stairs and we'll just head upstairs.
No.
Eliana is going to make an effort to talk to Grim before they turn in for the night, so I can talk
Yeah.
to you about that later.
Either way, yeah, sure.
Or
Yeah.
we could do it on. We can do it on
Or
screen. We
could
have
do,
time.
yeah. If you want to grab them sort of on their way to the kitchen or on their way back from the kitchen before they hit the stairs, that's totally fine too.
Yeah, I can do that. That sounds good. Yeah, so she'll do so. And so I think that she'll just say to them, Grim, I know that the news today about the mention today of Avali. She pauses, resets. If you want to talk about it, I'm here and I'll listen.
Grim sort of looks at her for a moment, sort of slow nod, will sort of reach out and sort of just very gently bump a fist against her shoulder.
Mhm.
Not yet, but thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Also, thank you. Sort of slight head tilt towards the stage.
She looks back toward the stage, looks back toward Grim. That was fun.
They smile a little bit. It really was. Before
Yeah.
those people showed up, that wasn't either of our faults. I suppose I
Shoot.
can't complain about that too much either. It being a tavern and all.
She laughs. Yeah, it was fun in a different way, but I liked that one. When, the stage, she gestures back toward it again.
So did I.
She will bop them on the shoulder lightly. Have a good night.
You as well. Yeah. And I think that they sort of continue towards the stairs or the kitchen, whichever way. Probably the kitchen at that point.
Yeah.
Then it's your way. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Delightful.
Yeah.
I do think Corinne will pull Bo aside, while the rest of the table is kind of just like being raucous and enthusiastic. And we'll just sort of I just wanted you're the first one in the family to know. The one who's kind of spooky looking.
Mm-hmm.
They're very important to me.
I mean, of course, they seem to be a close friend.
Not quite like that. So, you know how at parties I always used to make excuses for just, oh, I'm going off into a corner somewhere with this person. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
This is different.
So I should worry about it and it's not fine?
No, oh god. There, gods. We're partners, I think.
Hold on, I gotta roll a check. I know 4 things about Bo off the top of my head, and one of them...
They are the correct thing. This is amazing.
Partners. Well, congratulations. I'm assuming you don't mean business partners, right?
I do not.
Okay, great.
Also that, but that is not what I meant.
Well, congratulations. They seem to be quiet, I suppose. They were very pleasant.
They are. It does take a bit to get to know them. But they're very good.
You look happy, Corinne. That's all I ask for. Or all I want, anyway.
I really am. You look happy too.
It's a big world,
Enjoying-
and I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, it looks like it's treating you really well.
So far. And if it's not, I can just come home.
That's true. Don't tell grandmother and grandfather though. They'll start looking for matches for you immediately.
That's why I can't stay too long.
No, absolutely not.
Rolling stones gather no spouses.
As they say. We might, if you needed a place to stay, let me know. We might be able to put you up for a night or two.
I will. Not yet though. I want to see what the gang has for places, or for what they
Of
chose.
course.
I'm
Of
sure it
course.
will be great.
Tell me where they end up deciding on, because I can potentially give you some suggestions if it's a terrible choice.
I will let you know.
Excellent. And she kind of like pats him on the shoulder, and then we'll like return to the table.
He pulls you in for a big hug.
Aw. She hugs back. It's very funny because he's a full 6 inches taller than her.
Oh yeah. And as he's hugging you, he goes, your gunslinger's on the ceiling.
Oh gods. She looks up. Say.
You cheated at the race. I am putting footprints on your ceiling.
Say. Oh gods. She looks over at like Eliana.
Yes! And Erebus
Eliana-
is just like cheering her on.
Eliana, can you do the thing? And like she. What is this? Oh, that's pretty good. A 23 sleight of hand gesture that very clearly is the prestidigitation somatic component.
Alina just looks at the ceiling. Sweetheart, why don't we go home and you can, we can just go home. And I will show you how much I appreciate you and love you, and we can not be here anymore, perhaps?
Meanwhile, Eliana looks at Corinne and whispers, "That could be a lot of things."
No, the cleaning one, and points at the footprints on the ceiling.
Oh. Understanding that, Eliana will prestidigitate the footprints off the ceiling.
I'm picturing all of this with Corinne still like wrapped up in Bo's hug.
Oh yeah, like fully, like her face is basically like in his in his shoulder blade essentially, or in his collarbone.
Alina finally goes, we have a babysitter for the evening. Say just like, that's actually a good point, and climbs down from the ceiling.
Okay. Have a good night. Tell Penny I said hi.
Good night.
I will tomorrow morning when we go get her from her grandparents.
Okay.
Grandmothers, I suppose. And you see her actually, as she moves out front, start casting a spell. And as she gets out front, the spell finishes, and there's a giant ass jet black horse. She's like, "Alright, come on, up on the horse."
Oh, that's right. She's a paladin.
She is a paladin. She gets summoned steed.
That is very romantic.
Is that
Erebus
Marina?
has
Is that
said this out
Erebus?
That is Erebus. He's just like, I love love.
Oh, God, drunk Erebus is my favorite.
Amazing. Did not see this coming, and I'm so delighted.
Yeah.
And someday Alina
This
will
is
be
incredibly fun for me.
someday Alina will get drunk with you all. But it just doesn't ever seem to happen. She always tends
Oh
to
my
be
God.
sober. Yeah.
Okay, so then since Say and Alina are gone, because Erebus was planning to stay up as long as they were there. Since they're gone, she's gonna turn to the remaining people downstairs. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go trance now. Great party. Surprisingly little murder. Nice to meet you. And I'll see you tomorrow. And she takes Bianca and heads upstairs to trance
That
it
was. Oh. Corinne just kind of like stammers as she leaves, and then it's just kind of like, I wonder how many parties she's been to where that one qualified as surprisingly little murder.
I hope she wasn't hoping for more murder.
Bosun is fully in one of the remaining popcorn bowls.
Oh yeah.
Just like, like he has not every tentacle because he's got a lot of tentacles, but like fully a third of his tentacles are holding popcorn, a piece of popcorn,
Mhm.
as he's like continuing to like with his bill attempting to pick up more popcorn and eat it all.
Uriel's doing that dad thing where he's kind of like got his arms crossed. He's like leaned back in his chair, and his eyes are closed. He's not asleep. He's just really, really inspecting the inside of his eyeballs.
I think Keisha's going to make a bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
She's going to try to take a thing of popcorn from Bosun.
Oh no.
Please make me a DC 10 wisdom save, Quiche.
I would be delighted. Let me find the stat block for a cat. Okay, cat has +1 to wisdom. That is a fail.
You are.
No.
Quiche is now frightened of Bosun for the next minute, I believe. Yes, next minute.
Amazing. Quiche lets out a yowl and goes running away with her tail down between her legs, being fluffy.
Aw.
Aw, poor
Oh
Keith.
baby.
Bosun makes a satisfied chainsaw noise and gobbles up more popcorn.
I knew that she was making a bad decision, and I fully accept the consequences thereof.
Bosun has now scared 100%
Of the people
well,
he intended
not
to
100
scare.
Yeah, not Elve.
Not Elray.
I guess, but 66.6% of the people he intended to scare today.
Delightful. Aliana looked through the Quiche. What are you? Oh, no. Oh, why did you do that? She says to the departing cat. She looks around, sees a very sleepy-looking Uriel. I think we've got to get you upstairs, she says to him.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm up. I'm not asleep. Definitely.
I know you're not.
Not asleep. Let's go to bed.
Let's. Eliana looks around for Quiche, finds her hiding under a table, decides not gonna disturb her right now.
I can calm her down and we can get her to your room if you'd like.
That sounds great. I was gonna let her head up there in her own time, but if you have an idea for how to do this without scaring her further, please.
Sure. Hold on, I look up a spell description.
She's responsible for her own actions, but Oh, Keith,
Oh.
why? Why are cats?
Oh no, calm emotions as humanoids.
Oh,
Oh no.
Sleepily, he tries the spell. Keisha's unconvinced.
yeah. She stays hidden from under the table and regards him with large amber eyes.
Oh.
Oh,
S- Sorry, kiddo, I did my best. And he will escort you upstairs.
She'll come out in her own time. I have no doubt she's going to be jumping on the bed earlier than we would like her to. She says as she goes upstairs with Uriel.
Yep.
Good night, night, Corinne, Bosun. It was nice to meet, or Bo. It was nice to meet you. Why do you have such similar
Bosun is also still down here, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh,
for better or worse.
Yeah, and I think Corinne will continue catching up with Bo until, reasonably late for her.
Yeah.
And then I think around, because it was like 10 or 11 when we got to the call, so I think around like midnight she'll call it a night and collect Bosun and head upstairs for bed.
Okay. And as everyone heads upstairs for bed, we'll call it for tonight.
excellent.
Yay.
Oh, that was so